We're back. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Episode 18 of the Poverty Franchise Podcast. It's been about a month since the last episode. I'm Khalil.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Frank.
All right. So we should probably explain why we haven't made an episode in like a month. For you two, you guys had school sports, so that kind of Ethan's ACL. You're finally back on the field.
Yeah.
Well, not on the field, but in practice.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Like on the field?
Yeah.
Pads?
Mm-hmm.
Congrats. It's been how many days? Do you know how many days?
400 and something 8 days. No, 408 days, I think.
Wow.
Shout out you, bro. Shout out you. Torn ACL back on the field. Speaking of torn ACL, no, I'm not gonna Frank, how you been, bro?
Bro, it's hot, man.
Heat wave is crazy.
Heat wave is crazy. No, but Ethan, I feel so bad for you that guy took your number.
Oh.
Khalil, you know about this?
Yeah, 25 doesn't look right on you. I saw the picture. I was like, this doesn't
that's my number. Why you wearing my number?
It's so weird. Like, I mean, it's either 25 or 29. 29 is not the move.
Yeah, 29 is ugly. Any number that ends in 9 in sports doesn't really look good. I mean, unless it's 99. 99 or 89 if you're a receiver, but other than that, 19 is not really appealing. 29.
Yeah, 9 is the only decent one.
Yeah, and that's just 9 by itself. And I also don't even
because it's a single digit. Yeah.
Right. 9 might be the worst single digit. Let's have that discussion.
Didn't Dwight Howard wear number 39?
He wore 39 on the Lakers, which is really ugly. But
hey, he made it work.
Yeah, I guess. Is 9 the worst single digit number? Like, I'm trying to think. It probably is. It's definitely not. 1 is probably the best.
I think 7 has a case for being one of the best. 7-2. 1-2-7.
Number
3
30.
Solid. Single digits, Frank.
Oh, right, sorry.
8 and 9 are both kind of
8
it depends on the sport. 8 single digit on a football jersey doesn't look that good. 8 for basketball obviously is iconic as a Kobe, but like the number 9 in general just doesn't get worn in basketball or football like that. I mean, Burrow wears 9 now.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a receiver who wears 9 or another quarterback who wears 9. And then in the NBA, can you name one player who wears the number 9? Like, I feel like I can't think of one.
I don't think I could either.
I'm gonna search that up. NBA players who wear the number 9. I know Tony Parker wore it, right?
Dante DiVincenzo. No, he wore number like 0.
Luol Deng.
Luol Deng. He said Luol Deng.
No, it's Luol. No, he like retired.
Luol Deng. He retired in 2019. Does any player currently wear the number 9? Like,
let's see.
I'm looking. Denny Advia wears 9. RJ Barrett. Okay, I can think of RJ Barrett. Ken Bazemore. Davis Bertans. I thought he wears 42. That's Maxi Kleba. Damari Carroll. Josh Christopher. There's
Michael Beasley.
Jay Crowder was 99.
Jay Crowder looks good.
He looks good.
That 99 is like
it fits him. I
think of him.
Oh, Jeremy Grant wears 9 as well, but it's very few guys, and it's not top guys. I mean, RJ Barrett's the best guy there. So, Serge Ibaka wore it as well. So, shout out him. Iggy. There's more guys than I thought, but again, none of them are top guys. Frank, how have you been though?
It's hot, man.
Yeah.
No,
how's track stuff like that?
I'm in cross country.
Oh yeah, cross country.
But it's hard because I went on vacation for a month during the summer, and then I got sick for a week, and then I couldn't work out as much as I wanted to. So now I'm kind of lacking a bit because I got top 7 on our team gets to go to Arizona, and last race I got passed up by some people. So like I got one more race to make sure I can go to Arizona.
Hey, we're rooting for you, definitely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
How was your race?
Was it race? So hot.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be tough.
Oh my god! So like
for this week and then like next week until Thursday, I think it starts cooling down. But it's been crazy.
Okay. Like I think I have a Saturday race in 2 weeks, so maybe it'll be okay.
Yeah, hopefully by then it's like fall, so hopefully that means something and it actually cools down. But who knows?
Well, it was last race was crazy because they ran out of ambulances.
And they had to cancel it, right?
they had to cancel the rest of the races. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And that honestly, that race is notorious for people having to go to the emergency room. But this time it was like
the heat.
It was way more than ever. You know.
I mean, it's the first race of the season, so it makes sense.
Oh, that was the first race of the season?
No, it was a second. It's not league. It's just invitationals.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't contribute to CIF.
Is cross country season all year long, or when do you guys stop?
November.
Oh, okay.
November. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So it's a fall sport.
It's a fall sport.
It's dope.
What's your sport, Khalil, man?
What have you been up to, Khalil?
I don't play no sports, sadly. What's it called? But we are recording this episode right as I get home from my first day at my job, so I've been, at work since today.
Did you roll a burrito?
I didn't roll a burrito. I didn't have to. I did put some, some chicken, some rice. I wasn't one of those Chipotle workers. Chipotle is where I work, by the way, where they give you like no rice. I was giving more than I was supposed to everybody. And I could hear people in like line. They were like, "Dang, all right, he really put that much."
That's good, man.
So I wasn't
you could get fired, bro. Not giving too much meat, too much beans.
All right,
bro.
Yeah, I've been at work, and then during the summer, because I started work today, I was the only one who wasn't that busy out of us three, and I can't really do the podcast by myself. Like Frank said, he was in Hawaii, and then he got sick, and then we started school. But in a more general sense, since we've all, I don't know if Ethan's still here, but how's school been for you? How's school been for both of you guys? The start, at least, because we've only all had 1 week.
Yeah,
it's been boo. Slow.
Hot. The heat is like making it unbearable right now.
Yeah, bro. I gotta buy new shorts, man, because I'm running out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
What are your thoughts on your guys' teachers?
I love all my teachers. All of them.
Yeah, they're cool.
All of them. I like them. Yo, Ethan though.
Yeah.
No, never mind. I'm not gonna.
No, say it.
I'm not talking about English class, bro.
Say it.
AK was texting me during that class.
Oh.
And he was just like, bro, ain't no way they're asking for that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to respect what people's pronouns are.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah,
that's probably why they asked for it, because
I thought
respect who you are.
Yeah, 100%. No, I thought it was interesting. That's all.
Like, my fault. I identify as a him. I'm him. I'm just playing.
What's it called? Yeah, I mean, I like my teachers too. I don't have that many teachers like on a day-to-day basis. I only have a lot of the times I only have 4 classes, which is dope, but like it's cool. I mean, can't complain. I wouldn't say I love them because I don't know them that well, but I like them. None of them have gotten on my like bad side.
That's good. Bro, for my English teacher, bro, he's like, I don't know what it is about him, but he's like super energetic, but it's like the annoying energetic,
Oh, it's not like funny or energetic.
It's not.
It's just like,
it's.
Why are you so hyped? Please chill.
Yes. Like, bro, we're in English class.
Yeah. Wait, what period do you have them? Because I can see how that could be.
Third.
Okay, it's not super early in the day, but it's still like before lunch. So
yeah. But like before that, I have ceramics, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's so chill. Like, she's an older lady, but she's chill, and her teaching is slow. So you can see, you can kind of see why that's boring.
Right.
But other than that, I'm boo.
Yeah. So what do you do in ceramics? And don't say ceramics.
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 So y'all be making like pottery and stuff like that?
We're actually skipping that. We're skipping pottery, and then we're doing like actual things, like a phone stand.
Oh.
Like, people can make, I guess,
a bobblehead,
something like this, like not a bobblehead exactly, but like
who is
something
that?
like it. So Mike Trout, Silver Slugger thing from an Angels game. It's a bobblehead,
man. Yo,
what if the head fell off?
And then I got an Otani one somewhere. Yeah.
The whole picture frame falls.
It's a Rookie of the Year Otani one. Yeah.
I don't got bobbleheads. I had a Padre one time, but I don't know where that is. I think it's at my dad's.
I had a Padre one when I was like 8. I don't know where that is anymore though. I think it broke actually, which is whatever. I don't care about the Padres like that.
I have an Angels one somewhere.
I don't.
I have no, not in. I have another Mike Trout bobblehead. It's in my garage, but it's like not back to back. It might have been back to back MVP, something like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Hey, but speaking of the Padres, I was watching a game yesterday, and as much as I hate the Dodgers, but they always have national TV, right? And so they're playing the Padres, and I could finally watch them without getting blackout because you can't watch San Diego games.
Which is so stupid.
The Padres just, I mean, they won a few games. I think they won a game the other day, but I think it was yesterday I was watching it or the day before. Shortstop and outfielder just came running to each other and just bounced off the glove, and it was an error, and then 2 runs scored. I was like, oh my god, they just sold. I sent to the chat. I was so mad.
You see the picture of bro's face in the dugout. Bro,
yeah, like I was like, oh my god. And then it was like 5-1. I'm just
Nah, because like I think yesterday's game ended in like a 12-1 finish.
Yeah. I have the MLB app, so I see the Padres scores, and I'm just like, I feel like every time we play the Dodgers, it's really not even close. One way or the other. It's either a
blowout or
We see Clay Thompson's brother, 3-run home run. Just like
Clay Thompson has a brother.
What?
Tristan Thompson, I think.
It's Trace Thompson.
That's his actual brother.
Yeah, Trace Thompson. That's his brother.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Now I want to see what he looked. Who does he play for? Dodgers.
He's chasing a ring.
Trace Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see the similarity. They look identical, pretty much. One just has more hair than the other.
Wait, let me see this guy.
Trace Nicholas Thompson. He played for the Padres too. Huh.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a while back, I think.
Shoot, my computer isn't working. I look up on here now.
Oh wow, didn't know that. Clay Thompson has a brother who plays baseball. We do have a bit to do in my episode, so after this, let's actually move on to what we have to talk about.
All right, let's go.
What's it called? So, biggest news in the NBA. This was on Thursday, I think this happened, where Donovan Mitchell got traded to the Cavaliers. That's been the big thing for like the last few days. Everyone's talking about, where does this put the Cavs, or how did the Knicks not complete a trade for this? Things like that. But before we get on to, talking about the more bigger picture Eastern Conference standings and how this shakes things up, what were you guys' initial thoughts on A, Donovan Mitchell going to the Cavaliers, and B, what the package was?
You want to go first, Frank, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go. Okay, Donovan Mitchell wanted out, I would say, right? They've been there for a while. Jazz did the right thing of resetting, I think. Cavs are. I wasn't expecting the Cavs, actually. Like, I just didn't think about them, but they gave a decent package. They didn't have to. I think both teams won in this situation.
Yeah, definitely would say so. You know what's funny? The day before, or a few days before, I was on, the trade machine for one of the basketball websites. And I was just like, okay, where's Donovan Mitchell going to get traded? Because there's not a lot of teams that are really like looking to make those kinds of trades right now, or that can. And I was like, okay, maybe Cleveland. So I searched up, because obviously everyone was talking about the Knicks and no one talked about the Cavs. And I was like, I searched up Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell to see if there was any talks about it. And literally the first thing that came up was Cavs are out on Donovan Mitchell. So I was like, oh, well, I guess that's not going to happen. And then it happened. So that was kind of funny. But as far as the package goes, I think it's a good package. It's Colin Sexton, who's like, I guess, the big part of the deal, the biggest face. Ochai Agbaji, who rookie, obviously, he's an older rookie. He's not really someone who you're looking to build to be like a superstar, but he has good potential to be a solid, starter role player type of player. Not anything really higher than that to me. And then they had Lauri Markkanen, who's kind of just Lauri Markkanen. He's not amazing. He's not terrible, but that's not really, a big part of the package. And then there's obviously the 5 picks, 2 pick swaps, 3 first, 3 unprotected first.
Yeah.
That's good for the Jazz because they get the picks. And then if you think about it on the Cavaliers standpoint, Donovan Mitchell is under contract for either 3 or 4 years. So all of those unprotected picks, barring injury, which we can't predict, they should be in the 20s. So it's not like they're losing out on lottery picks. So yeah, I think, good package. I don't know if it's better than the supposed Knicks package that I heard was what was going out, but it's still a fine package to me. Ethan, if you want to add on.
All right. So I think it's a good package. It's one of the better end packages, I guess, that you could get. And they got talent out of it, like obviously, and the biggest piece of it being Sexton. And the way the Jazz are rebuilding their thing is like literally thunder away. Acquiring a bunch of picks, trading. Would you call it superstar players or just star players?
Star players, because they traded
Star
players. Yeah, star players.
Trading star players out to get picks, and they pretty much loaded on picks
and from still gonna probably
the Gobert trade and Donovan trade. Yeah,
they're still gonna get more from whatever they do with Conley and Bogdanovich.
Oh yeah, that can be a good package. I see y'all see that Westbrook one.
Bro, I don't
Conley and Bogdanovich for
Westbrook in a 2037 first round pick.
Both teams win. They do, because Westbrook's on his last year of his deal.
Yeah. They don't need the salary. The Jazz don't need the salary. But go ahead, Ethan. We didn't mean to interrupt.
This makes you think about what the price for Kevin Durant would be.
Oh yeah. That's true.
They got rid of both of those guys for all of that.
Yeah.
What would the price for KD be?
They were talking about Devin Booker, Zion. The thing is, obviously, the price is really high for someone like Kevin Durant, but there gets to a point where your price is so high that you can't even make the trade anymore. I think that was what the issue was with Kevin Durant. The price was too high. Obviously, they could have gotten a really good package, but when you start asking for Devin Booker, Zion, who's another guy I heard they wanted? Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. What's the point of even making the trade? Obviously, you're trying to bring Kevin Durant into a team that's trying to win now, not to trade your whole team and then just have Kevin Durant and Jared Vanderbilt as your whole team. Like, no slight to Jared Vanderbilt, very solid NBA player, but like, you're trying to bring Kevin Durant in to add on to what someone has. Out of all the Kevin Durant packages, the one that made the most sense both ways was the Boston one, and even that I was like, I don't know if I want to trade Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. I would have did Jaylen Brown and then maybe some other people, but keep Marcus Smart if that's possible. But we obviously know now this also happened before we got back that Kevin Durant is staying on the Nets. So that's another thing to consider in the Eastern Conference, that KD is also staying. So, but yeah, if you had
Did you know he might be the father of Lana Rhodes' son?
Where did you hear that? Stop.
That's just not. That's not true.
Bro saw that on Ballsack Sports, bro.
Ballsack Sports.
No, because he is a Libra, and
oh my god,
yeah.
no.
I'm an asparagus. Personally, I'm an asparagus.
He's a what?
But like
a Libra. Okay.
I
have a question. I have a couple additional questions.
Mm-hmm.
What would you guys grade this trade for both sides? So we'll start with that. So what grade would you give the Jazz on this one, Frank?
Like a B. I mean, let's just say the picks aren't really worth much, right?
Right.
They got.
I mean, if they hit on the picks, then obviously, sure, but like
they can draft Bronny and Bryce.
No, but if we're assuming
what do you mean?
That the
Cavs are going to be good, obviously.
Cavs are going to be good, right?
Yeah.
So, and they got what? So let's just say they got some talent. But you're talking about how there was the Knicks trade. And RJ was thrown into that, wasn't he?
Yeah. RJ was a part of the trade.
RJ is a way better.
He's a better
return player. Right. I think they should have taken that 100%. There's no way they shouldn't have taken him.
And the picks would have been better. Because the Knicks aren't nearly as good as the Cavs are with Donovan Mitchell.
Picks would have been better. But maybe Jazz want to do right by their player and send him to a team where he can maybe win.
Yeah, we also don't know how they feel about Colin Sexton, because there's some people who feel like Colin Sexton is actually like really, really good and just hasn't really been in the right place to succeed. And there's other people who are lower on him. I'm one of those people who are lower on him. I think he's really like a glorified sixth man. He could be a very, very good sixth man, but past that, I don't know how good he is. But maybe the Jazz feel like they can get him to pass the ball or something, I guess. I don't know. And then what grade do you give Cleveland, Frank?
I should give him an A or A plus, whatever. You got Donovan Mitchell, and you didn't have to. You gave up someone that wasn't even playing, really.
Right.
And then Lauri Markkanen, and then some picks that you're not going to care about.
Right. And then Ethan?
Because picks are overvalued.
I'm going to have to agree with Frank. Probably like a CB for the Jazz.
Oh, okay.
And then A for
Cleveland.
Cavs.
I'm going to follow you guys and say A for Cavs. And then I think I'm going to go B minus Utah. Just because, again, I'm not really high on Colin Sexton that much. I do like Ochai Agbaji, but I thought he was good on a team like Cleveland or Memphis.
He was a two-way guy, right?
Yeah, he went to Kansas.
Super lengthy.
Yeah, he plays defense, hits threes. He was a senior, and then he enlisted. Whoa,
enlisted into the military.
He like registered for the draft. He entered the draft and he got drafted. And I thought the fit for Cleveland was good because he's like, you're drafting a role player pretty much. He's nothing higher than that, in my opinion. I could be wrong. He could be a star player, but I just don't see that for him. I also think he's already 24 or 23.
He's on the older end for sure.
For a rookie, Agbaji, let's see. I'm gonna check his.
More set to be a role player. I think he's like Cam Johnson.
He's
was
22.
Old.
He's 22, which is older for a rookie. Because let's see, how old is
Jason
John
Tatum?
Morant?
19.
John Morant is
21.
23.
Oh,
he got drafted 3 years ago. So it's like, that's like a high age to be at already. But yeah, he's a solid player. Then Larry Markkinen is nothing special. I guess we could talk about some of the guys they got from, the Timberwolves in that trade and combine that. Because it's almost like it's Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell as a package that they're sending out. And you can also talk about Patrick Beverley, who's the third guy who they've traded so far. So they have a return of Talen Horton-Tucker, who I'm also not really that high on.
Yeah, he's going to be the GOAT.
He's overrated.
Walker Kessler, who went to Auburn, a really big center, who's, a great shot blocker. He's 7'4", though, so, he better be a great shot blocker.
7'4" is, like,
crazy.
Having someone that tall on the team, like, even if it's, like, a bench player, is, like, incredibly valuable.
Because there's not that many guys that tall in the league. There's actually not that many guys over 7'3".
Right. Boban,
Kristaps.
Kristaps is like 7'3", but yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just those like three. It might honestly be just those three guys. Oh, Bol, and then
Taco Fall went somewhere else. He went to
the G League. I don't think he's
no. I thought he's playing in like China or something.
Yeah, so he's not in the league.
So imagine Taco Fall better become a GOAT or something over there.
And then we got 7'5" Victor Wembanyama as the top guy in the draft. So the league is just getting bigger.
He's going to the Senegalese Professional Basketball League. I don't know.
Hey, good luck for him out there. Because the league didn't work out. Bol, I thought actually could work out because the Nuggets seemed like they wanted to play him sometimes. And then they just stopped playing him. So
they played him in the bubble.
Yeah, and they played like some really interesting lineups where he was point guard.
It was so cool. It was like Jokic,
Michael Porter Jr., Bol,
Jeremy Grant, and
like
Mason Plumlee.
Super big lineup.
Hella big lineup.
Yeah, it was Jeremy Grant was their shortest player.
Right.
And he's like 6'8", 6'9". Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, definitely cool. I don't know if he's going to play. He's on Orlando now, and I don't know how much he's going to play there.
He better get playing time.
I would hope so. That team's not going to be very good.
Hoping that he would, but
yeah. And then my second question, because I said I had another one. I was thinking about this on my own. Is the East better than the West right now?
I think it depends on Kawhi and Paul George, or the Clippers.
Okay.
Well, but I understand what you're saying. So maybe they are better.
I think the East might be deeper than the West.
The East is deeper, but the West it's more front loaded.
Yeah, because of course the West has the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, who should be really good this year, assuming everyone's healthy. The Warriors, who won the championship.
Timberwolves are up and coming. Pelicans as well.
Pelicans.
Hopefully the Clips.
Hopefully the Clippers if healthy. The Mavericks have Luka, so that's something on its own. Phoenix, we didn't even talk about Phoenix, who's the 1 seed. Right. It's arguable. I think it's a really good split of talent amongst the league right now.
I think the West, the teams are just, it's more like front loaded, as in there's a top 6.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm not drop off.
It's something like that.
The drop off from like
than the East.
Yeah, I think what's it called? Let me look at my list. I think 1 through 3 is close. Then I think there's a slight drop off from 3 to 4. Then I think 4 to 6 is really close, and then 7 to 12 is 7 to 9 is close. 10 to 13 is like really close for me though. And then 14-15 isn't really that close. Yeah. But it's really close to me. I the way.
Of course.
Go ahead.
There's going to be the bottom tier teams that are just
that's everywhere. We have those in the West too. The Rockets, the Thunder, those guys. The Spurs and the Jazz. The West just got worse because a lot of teams are. They went from the Spurs went from a team that wasn't even really a play-in team to now being one of the worst teams in the league. The Jazz went from being a playoff team to not even being a play-in team. So yeah, that's just another thing I was thinking. But speaking of the Eastern Conference and how I was talking about my list, do you guys want to start with that? Talking about the Eastern Conference standings.
Yeah.
So we go. Let's start from 15 to go to 1. Everyone has their list up, I would hope. This is what we think of these teams. We obviously can't predict injuries, so something could happen that would change this. But at this moment, this is how I feel, and I don't think any of these teams are going to make any huge moves other than the Pacers possibly. And that doesn't really move them that much either. But yeah, I'll start at 15. I have Orlando. I think it's pretty clear that they're 15. I think they're by far the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Their offseason wasn't bad, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, they did nothing to get better. But, they had the first overall pick, obviously, so they weren't a good team last year. The 3 people that they brought in this year are Paolo Banchero, Kevon Harris, who went undrafted a few years back, and Caleb Houston, who they got in the second round. They resigned Mo Bamba, Bol, Gary Harris, and then they lost Brazdakis and Robin Lopez. So they didn't lose anyone huge. And obviously Paolo Banchero, getting him is really big because he could be really good in the league. But I don't think Paolo Banchero as a rookie, moves him that far. Another thing that I thought about was the fact that they have so many guards like Markelle Fultz, Suggs, who's the other, Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton. All 4 of those guys are going to have to get minutes somehow.
Right.
I can see them, kind of just playing a lot of guys to figure out who's, going to be a member of the Orlando Magic long term, who's a trade piece, who's what, who needs more time in the G League, things like that. So I have them at 15 comfortably.
Ethan, go ahead.
Okay. I agree with you. Magic at 15 because they just have their lineups built weird right now where they have too many guards and not really many bigs, I guess. Yeah. And they're just going to try and figure out who can play now, who still needs to develop.
Right. I expect a lot of guys on that team to spend some time in the G League.
For sure.
Some of those guys are going to have to go to the G League at some point. Like RJ Hampton might spend some time in the G League. He's a perfectly fine player, but they just have so many guys. I think they still have Terrence Ross. I don't know if
they do have Terrence Ross.
They have Franz
the guy who plays video games?
Yeah, that's Twitch streamer. They have Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., Paolo Banchero. It's a solid group of guys. It's not that awful, but I just think every other team above them either has more talent or has more not continuity, but more structure.
Yeah.
Frank, who do you have it? Go ahead.
I was gonna say that the teams above them are just built better, I guess. Yeah.
Frank, do you agree?
Yeah, I have Orlando at 15, and I think it's if you think about OKC. Oh my god. Hey, sorry, man, but I got OKC shirt on, but they were kind of late because we were talking about one time where they're so deep, they have so many players that need minutes,
right?
And I think it's the same thing. They have 12 players, 13 players that are that should be in a rotation. I think, and we have lots of guards, and they have a few forwards and bigs too. But it's just
a lot of players who are around the same level though. That's the thing,
right? Yeah, they're not. They have no stars. They have. Right. They're just. They have a lot of good role players, but that's just not enough.
I'm trying to think how many guys on that team are for sure, pieces of the team going forward. Obviously, there's Banchero. Franz Wagner was so good last year that I think he has to be a member of that. Cole Anthony was pretty good last year. Wendell Carter Jr. is really solid. I don't know about Mo Bamba going forward. I mean, it seems like they want to keep him, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be there. And then after that, obviously Jalen Suggs was drafted so high last year that he has to get a second chance, but he wasn't good last year. Hopefully he picks it up this year. So I think those 6 guys are for sure going to get at least, the next 2-3 years to be on the roster. But after that, I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting someone.
Jonathan Isaac on the.
Jonathan Isaac hasn't played.
Is on the team, but he's always injured. That's the thing. I completely forgot about him because he hasn't played in since the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
he takes up roster spot.
Right. Hell, they need a trade, bro.
I mean, he's just one of those players. He's good when he plays, but he doesn't play. So right. It's tough. But yeah, it's a lot of good players. You can't really do anything about it. It's not like I think OKC is in definitely a better position because they have Shea, who's
he's already an all-star level.
He's been an all-star level player. So I think Orlando needs to find an all-star player and they need to find their guy in all these players that they have, and then start making trades.
That guy. Yeah, hopefully Banchero is their guy. I would hope he is. I mean, he looked good in the summer league.
Yeah, NBA ready.
Yeah, definitely. So
yeah.
Orlando 15. You want to start us off at 14, Frank? Pop up.
Look, a lot of these teams they're just irrelevant. Not irrelevant. They're
just not that great.
No, they're just irrelevant.
Okay, so they're not gonna be in the playoffs. I was kind of.
There's 3 irrelevant teams. There's 2 that are not irrelevant, but just
it's still hard to put them in certain spots though, because I think they have, they all have young guys
who have upside.
Upside, right? But I decided to put Detroit here.
Okay.
Detroit's not. I love Cade.
Yeah.
K's their guy, but they kept Jeremy Grant too. That's also something because they
traded
Jeremy. No, they got rid of him. They traded
the Blazers now.
Sorry, Blazers. Yeah. That's right. Wait.
Yeah, he's on the Blazers now.
They traded him to Portland
for a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then I don't know where I saw the Basketball Reference is wrong.
Yeah, you shouldn't have checked Basketball Reference for the roster. Check the other website. They have all the additions. You're good.
I remember him. He did go there, but they just. I don't know, man. They just need to keep rebuilding. I'd say Cade needs to get better.
Mm-hmm.
He'll keep producing more. They got Marvin Bagley, didn't they?
Yeah, he's been there since last year.
Yeah, and Killian Hayes is it's a tough pick because they're not getting much out of him right now.
He's coming off the bench next year anyway.
And he was a 7th pick though.
Yeah, which sucks.
You were expecting more, I think.
Right.
So I think that's tough. So they got some waiting to do. So I don't see them being in the play-in or anything like that.
Yeah, I will say this.
Much to say.
I will say this. I am a huge fan of their offseason. I like their draft. Duran and Ivy is great for me. They also, they were a part of a Knicks trade that got them a bunch of Knicks role players. So they have Alec Burks, Kevin Knox, Nerlens Noel, and Kemba Walker now. I don't know. I think Nerlens Noel might play for them. Kevin Knox could maybe play. And then Alec Burks might play. But I don't think Kemba will play for them. He could be a good locker room guy, I guess. I don't know what Kemba Walker offers at this point in his career.
Is Kemba on a? Is he in an $8 million deal?
Yeah, it's less than what he was on when he was on Oklahoma City. Way less than what he was on when he was on or the Thunder.
Right. Yeah. Because that was bought out. Right. Yeah.
They didn't lose really anyone other than Jeremy Grant. Apparently Luka Garza is on the Timberwolves now. I didn't know that, but he is. And then my boy Carson Edwards plays overseas, so that kind of sucks. Even though he signed a 2-year deal, I don't know what happened, but guess he's just not on the team anymore. But yeah, I think the thing that has them over the Magic is Cade is obviously their guy for sure. And then there's the roster around him is much better. Isaiah Stewart, if he's not fighting anyone, is a really solid center.
I hope he fights someone else. That was fun.
It's gonna happen probably. And then Sadiq Bey is already solid. He dropped 50 last year one time, and I think he hit 10 threes in that game. Jaden Ivey, I think, is really NBA ready as well, and he'll fit next to Cade. I feel like I'm forgetting a position. I don't know who.
Leo Olynyk.
Oh yeah, he's all right. And then they have Jalen Duren, who I really like. I don't know how much he's going to play, but I really do like Jalen Duren. Yeah, it's just a really solid roster. Killian Hayes off the bench. Hopefully he's better there than as a starter. And then obviously still Marvin Bagley, things like that, those guys. Really solid team for me. So I do have them also at 14, just so on the same page.
For my 14, I have the Wizards. They didn't really do much to get better. I think I have other teams ahead of them because I think they're gonna do better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I have the Pistons ahead of them. Like you guys have them here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've added Will Barton and Johnny Davis, drafted Johnny Davis, and they traded for Will Barton from the Nuggets, and the guy who's
They also got Monte Morris too.
Monte Morris. Oh, I love Monte Morris is one of my favorite. Well, let's just say bench point guards. I know he started because Jamal Murray was injured at that time.
But he's not really a starting point guard like that.
No, but I think he's a great like sixth man type player.
Mm-hmm. However, they got rid of KCP.
Oh no!
But
he's really good. You should have seen advanced statistics on him in that Lakers championship run.
Hey, I'm not too sold on the Wizards, I guess, on getting better because they got so many guards from free agency and the off season that I'm not too sold on it. It also comes down to how Tingus Pingus performs.
Right.
If he's healthy, that's the thing.
He is healthy though. Isn't he playing like
No, he has never been healthy before.
No, but he was playing overseas with the.
Yeah, I mean he was playing overseas, but when it comes to NBA time, he's only played over 70 games one time, and since 2020, he's been 57, 43, 51, and then a little over 50 last year if you combine Dallas and Washington. So I mean, if he's only playing 50 games, that can sell me on it. I personally have them higher because I think they have, when you have star players, especially in the regular season, they can get you some wins that don't really mean anything, but they just carried you to a win on that night. More so than a couple teams ahead of them or that you have ahead of them, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely don't like their offseason. I definitely don't like the roster. I will say that. Wizards probably have one of my least favorite rosters in the whole league. And it's not even because it's like horrendously bad. It's just like, are you guys rebuilding with Johnny Davis and, Kuzma and all these other young guys? Or are we trying to win because we traded for Will Barton and Monte Morris and Porzingis and re-signed Bradley Beal? Like, are they
more
just
of like a why?
Yeah, like what are we trying to do right now?
Yeah. That's why I have them at 14 because I'm not confident in where they're trying to go with this.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I definitely see what you mean. You have anything to add on that, Frank?
Yeah, well, you're saying like the whole like, I had them higher too for the same reason, just because they have star power. Just you're saying they can carry you to a win, and that they can carry you to a play-in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think some teams we're gonna name before the Wizards, they're not gonna make the play. I think I'm pretty sure on that. So that's why I would just have Wizards high. But I do agree with like the direction for the team is kind of, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but everything you said, I definitely agree with you. If you want to start us off with your 13, you can. Or I can take it.
I got let me open their free agency acquisitions. Give me a second. But it's the Pacers.
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. They kind of just there. They kind of just existing. A bunch of trade talks for, what's his name? Miles Turner.
Yeah, let's start there because it really depends, like if they trade Miles Turner and
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, Buddy
Hield. If they don't trade them, I think they're a fine roster. I think they're not a play-in roster, but they're like borderline. But if they trade those guys, I can see them being a little worse than that. But go ahead and say what your point is.
They also got rid of a few names, some being Malcolm Brogdon, Ricky Rubio, T.J. Warren, and Lance Stevenson. Yeah, I'm sticking that in. But yeah, I know T.J. Warren hasn't played since the bubble, right?
Yeah, he hasn't played since the bubble. I'll check to clarify, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't played. I haven't seen him.
He hasn't played for a minute. But Malcolm Brogdon, who's a good point guard. Where do you guys have him at, like your point guard ranking ish?
I don't remember my list off the top of my head, but I do have him as like a dark horse for sixth man of the year this year. So I definitely think highly of him.
Frank, what about you?
For Brogdon?
Yes.
I think he was. He might have been an honorable mention, honestly.
I'll say this: he's a positive point guard. Like, he's a good point guard. If he's your starting point guard, you're not like, okay, we're in a rush to improve this position. Yeah. Like, it's like he's solid. And to clarify on the point you made about TJ Warren not playing, he played 4 games in 2020, 2021, and he didn't play last year. So he's played 4 games since 2020.
And that's him to a contract, huh?
Right. Yeah. So hopefully he's good. So we're talking Pacers.
Yeah. And then they added Benedict Mathurin, who I'm really high on, and they also got Daniel Tice.
Yeah, he's not
part of the Brogdon
trade. Yeah, he's not trade.
Yeah,
he's definitely not playing. I don't know. I'm a little higher on them than you are because, again, obviously not really a great team.
Yeah,
but I think the guys that they are going to keep are going to be solid. The dudes they're for sure keeping, like Duarte is also there, Isaiah Jackson, Tyrese Halliburton obviously is a little below all-star level, but he's not that far off.
I completely
forgot about their best player. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Benedict Mathurin. I like the fit between Halliburton and Mathurin. Obviously, I think their roster is it's built really well. If they keep their guys, it has a lot of every position. It's not the most talented roster in the league, but I just think sometimes depth outweighs talent, and they have good depth. So I see them a little higher. And it's not even like they just have a bunch of players. They have a bunch of players at, different positions. But they did lose, 4 key contributors last year. So I also could see them, not being as great this year. So it's really, for these lower teams, I could see a lot of these people in like a 3 spot range. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, because I know we talked about how they were always a mediocre team, like not, they're not going to win any final series, but maybe they'll be in the playoffs or playing, but it's not. Yeah, exactly. But I think they really they have to get rid of Miles Turner and a few of the older players, because you're rebuilding. There's no reason to stay mediocre. But I understand as an organization, you want to be competitive. Somewhat, because if they have Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, they're going to be a little bit competitive. Like, maybe games will be more fun to watch. Maybe you sell more tickets and things like that. But I think it's better for them just to trade those players.
Right? Because realistically, you get a high pick this year, and then you draft someone high next year, and you're selling tickets again.
Right.
Plus, Indiana loves basketball. Indiana is a huge basketball. Indiana is a city or a state? Indiana is a state, right?
Bro. I don't know.
The U.S. education system is flawed.
But I love Benedict Mathurin, Ethan. Oh my God, he's my favorite rookie.
Okay.
I watched him play.
Oh, you did when you went to
the March Madness games, and he got that incredible dunk. Oh my, and what is he says he challenged LeBron on social media or something.
Indiana's a state, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know.
I didn't know that. I just wanted to look it up.
Indianapolis is the capital.
Yeah, I was about to say, is Indianapolis the state? But Indiana's the state.
But Benedict Mathurin should sell tickets alone.
Yeah, for sure. He's electric.
He is electric.
He's not my favorite rookie, but he is good. I do really like Benedict Mathurin.
Who is your favorite rookie?
You know who my favorite rookie is. The whole summer league, I was sending you guys his
Hey, what's up with his foot?
That injured guy?
He got injured? What? Tari Eason? No.
Oh, that guy? My bad.
Oh, no, not Chet, bro. Nah, he's not my favorite rookie. What? He's all right at best. Tari Eason is my guy. Ethan knows that. When we did the mock draft, I was saying Tari Eason is that guy.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, Tari
Eason. Out of LSU.
All NBA or all summer league first team. Yeah, he's that guy. We're at 13.
Yes, correct.
At 13, I have a team that completely failed this offseason. I would give them an F grade for the offseason. I have the Charlotte Hornets. The team is awful. The team is not good. They were barely even a play-in team last year. So let's start with that. Both times they've been in the play-in the last 2 years, they've got the door smacked off of them. I think they've lost by a combined 80 points in those 2 games. So you clearly know they're not, in that tier of teams that needs to be in the play-in. They're just a team that gets smacked up on, and then, whoever they play goes to playoffs.
Smacked up on a yearly basis.
This team literally lost their second best player. Obviously, because of, off the court issues, it doesn't look like he's playing anytime soon. they also lost their starting center or backup center, who also had some off the court issues. And they brought in Mark Williams, who I didn't even like that much as a prospect, and Bryce McGowan, who's all right at best. Yeah, the team's not good at all. Gordon Hayward is like above average starter.
Yeah.
Like barely above average. And then Terry Rozier is like, again, an above average starter who could be a like really good 6-man. But if he's your starting shooting guard, he's like, all right, we could be a little better. And it's like just LaMelo. Really.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rest of the team is not that great. But yeah, I don't like this roster whatsoever. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna agree with you. I had Charlotte at 13 as well. Yeah, off the court stuff is wild. Miles Bridges. Yeah, but he was important to the team, so it's unfortunate what happened.
He's a hard hitter.
What?
At the rim. At the rim.
Just say what you gotta say, Frank. Ethan, you're on punishment right now. Can I mute you?
Bro, I'm about to drink some water real quick, man.
You got muted, bro. You're muted, bro. Bro got muted.
Bro is muted.
You're on timeout for a little bit. You're on
30 seconds, a minute.
We'll let you know when you can talk again, bro.
But yeah, I agree on a lot of your points. It's just they're not building the team. I don't know, because LaMelo, he's probably going to be similar to last year. I mean, he's going to do what he does.
Yeah.
Well, he's still, you put him on any other team, he's probably going to be similar, good.
Yeah.
With a good team, he'd be good. I agree, because he's
Ethan,
a great.
You can unmute now. You're good.
He's a great distributor. So he needs players around him that can help him more. But there's not much you can do right now.
Yeah, not a good team.
Yeah, no one. I don't think people would really want Gordon Hayward.
Right.
Considering the injuries, it's not.
He's one of the only like really, I guess, higher quality role players who's available, who's like not really locked up like that. Like clearly the Hornets will probably want to trade him, but he's not in any trade talks.
He's not in any trade talks at all. None.
Bogdanovich is in trade talks. Turner, Hield. You know, I've seen things for Dorian Finney-Smith, and I don't think he's getting traded. But like, he's one of the few guys who's just not really being talked about. Clearly, there's a lack of interest amongst NBA teams right now. So, and I understand it. The injuries are like really bad. So,
but I think the most important thing for Charlotte is to make sure they keep their announcer. Because
pretty much like LaMelo is the announcer, and that's it.
That's it. Because if you lose the announcer, you could lose like
literally
everything.
There's nothing they can even do at this point to really improve, unless they just didn't care about PR and perception amongst fans in the NBA and the league, and just re-sign Miles Bridges. Like that's the only thing they can do, and I don't think they actually can do that either.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So definitely F- for the offseason for the Hornets, and I think they're not a playing team. I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. Luckily, they have LaMelo, who's obviously, at least for you and me, our list, he's probably the best player that we had on any of these teams thus far. So he kind of carries them up a little bit, but it's not very much. Because the rest of the team is worse.
They're still gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah,
that's
LaMelo on his own is fun to watch.
Yeah, LaMelo. I mean, Terry Rozier is fun too. He's a fun player to watch as well. So I think you still watch games, but they're not gonna be. They're not making noise. Like,
and the thing they were worst at last year was defense, and they didn't improve their defense like at all. Obviously, they brought in Mark Williams, like I said earlier. He's like going to be their center.
He's just an interior defender, though. It's not going to help the perimeter.
Yeah, he's not very great either way. I think Duren had more upside. You know what's crazy? They had Jalen Duren, and they traded him.
Oh yeah,
I didn't like that.
No, they traded him to the Knicks, and the Knicks traded
him to the Pistons. The Hornets. Yeah. If the Hornets got Duren, I would have been like, okay, that's really good upside. Even if the Miles Bridges thing still happened, which it would have, obviously. But I would have been like, okay, I can see how Duren can do some of the things Bridges can do. Williams and Bridges are completely different players, and like, it's gonna take a little bit of time for LaMelo to get to play with someone like that and lose out on Miles Bridges, while also having Mark Williams, learn how to be an NBA center, because NBA centers often struggle to start off.
It'll take some time for him, but you can still be effective.
Right.
Like
get rebounds.
Okay, well, get rebounds, shot block. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully, they can do something.
Maybe he blossoms into a decent starter.
Right. He averages 7 and 10. Like, congrats. That's 13 for all of us.
Yes.
I'll start us off with 12.
I had the Pacers, Frank.
Pacers, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for my 12, I have the Wizards. We talked a bit about them earlier. Everything we said earlier, only difference between you and I, Ethan, is they have Bradley Beal for most games. He's typically healthy other than like last year. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty healthy dude. But I know Porzingis is a little questionable. This still wouldn't have them in the play-in. So, I mean, it's not really an accomplishment. But they're better than the 3 teams I have below them for one reason or another. That's all I have to say. Frank, if you have anything to add on, or if you want to give your 12, if it's different than mine.
I had 12. 12, I had Indiana. We talked about them already a bit. Mm-hmm. Benedict. They just got to trade their players. I don't have much to say. We talked about it already. So, Indiana 12. Ethan, what'd you got?
My 12, I got the Hornets. We already talked about them. Kind of. They just got worse.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about them.
Right.
Because you guys already covered all of it. So, yeah.
Okay, great. So we can move on to 11. And yeah. I'm pretty sure I know who Frank has 11. I would hope I do. But I have Indiana at 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I have Indiana at 11. And this is assuming they keep at least Turner. I can see Turner. If they trade Hield, that makes a lot of sense because he's old. He's on the older side. He's a high value role player who doesn't really fit the timeline. Turner is a little bit younger. I'm pretty sure he might be 26 or 27. But I think he fits the roster a little better and could contribute still. He's still 26, older, but he's not Buddy Hield, who's going to be 30 soon. So I like the roster. Again, Benedict Mathurin, not my favorite rookie, but I'm definitely someone who really believes in him and really likes him. His ability to shoot the ball, he's really high flying, can run up and down the court really fast. I think he'd work next to Tyrese Halliburton, who's obviously, the captain of the ship out there. Mm-hmm. Then they also have some solid younger role players, Isaiah Jackson, O'Shea Brissett, what's his name? Chris Duarte. All really solid dudes. So I think it's a fine roster. Still not a playing team, but, solid if they keep Turner. If they trade Turner and Hield, then I could see them being maybe 12 and then have the Knicks at 11 or the Wizards at 11.
Okay.
So what's it called? Frankie, you want to give your 11?
I had Washington here.
Okay.
Obviously, I was talking about it earlier just because I have them higher, just because of the star power they have.
Okay.
They got Beal. That's 28 point scoring.
Right.
Porzingis, it does come down to his health for sure. Because if
he's healthy, they could make the play.
If he's healthy, they will make the play in. If he's playing,
good enough.
Maybe he changes his play style a bit, which probably won't happen. But maybe they're always talking about, he should go in the post more because he's so big and.
He was playing 7-3 shooting guard.
7-3 shooting guard and things like that. So maybe if he does a little bit more post work, just be effective
different ways.
Be effective in different ways, and then we'll see how it goes.
Right.
But borderline playing, maybe they make it, maybe they don't. We'll see.
Yeah, it's close. I mean, like for the 10th spot, at least in the play-in, I think it's close. But
I think so.
Once 9 and up, it's like a huge jump from 10 to 9.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, not a huge jump, but it's a jump. It's a clear jump.
It's a clear jump. Yeah.
But yeah, I like everything you said about the Wizards. Again, I agree. Stars win you games. I don't know. I'm a little more pessimistic on Porzingis' health because he's literally never been healthy. So if there's 30 games where he doesn't play and it's just Bradley Beal, I don't know how many games that team wins. Because outside of Bradley Beal, it's really – I mean, Kuzma really was good last year. He was actually pretty solid. But Beal and Kuzma isn't much better than LaMelo and what's it called? What's his name?
Bridges.
No, the other dude who's still on the team.
Kelly Oubre.
Terry Rozier. Like it's around the same thing, pretty much. So yeah, for 30 games, if they're like a Hornets tier team, then they're pretty low for me. Ethan, who's your 11?
At 11, I have the Knicks. I know they added Jalen Brunson, but I'm not too sold on them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know
I
how
could
that's
just
gonna
see a
work
little
out.
repeat of last year, I guess. Just
Mediocrity.
yeah, I'm not sold on it at all.
Yeah, because outside of let me look at their rotation or their off season.
They
They
added
lost
Jalen
a lot of
Brunson.
people.
They lost Nerlens Noel, Kemba Walker. I mean, Kemba
Alec
didn't do anything.
Burks. They
Alec
lost
Burks.
Alec Burks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't.
However, they re-signed RJ
Yeah,
and Mitchell Robinson.
that stagnates them, does it not? I mean, like if you lose or if you bring in like a high quality role player and then you lose 3 solid role players, like or 2 solid role players, that does that not cancel out? That makes him around the same thing as last year, I would say. I think that's fair. Antosh Gibson played for him last year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so
yeah,
I can see that. I have them. We all said our 11.
Yes.
All right, I'll just say I have them at 10.
Okay.
And I'm really looking at it and I'm thinking, yeah, I could definitely move them down, and I might honestly just move them down and put the Pacers in, I guess, because it's really like the Knicks are not that good. Obviously, the big thing they did was bring in Jalen Brunson, but they did lose a lot of their key role players. I will say I'm not predicting this, but if Julius Randle is at his best, that's obviously a big if. He's still an all-star level player. So if he's actually at his best and he's not just trying to take Kobe level shots, even though he's not that guy, they are a playoff team.
Playoff team.
Yeah. But it's really about, consistency and who's going to really show up. Obviously, they have RJ Barrett, who's, I wouldn't say all-star level, but not far from it, I would say. Like, if the East was a lot less stacked at that specific position, I could see him making it, maybe as a bench all-star player. But, yeah, not really a big fan of the Knicks roster either.
All right, Ethan, you want to go?
Sure. Okay.
For
number 10. Wait, for 10? Okay.
Yeah.
10, I got the Pistons. I know. You guys had them down. Trust me. So,
I want to hear this.
I see some energy, and I like why they picked Ivy. And I think it's going to be like, I have them as one of those, I see what they can do, so I have them higher. That's why I have them higher.
I'm a big Pistons person. Like, I'm definitely one of those people who's like, all right, they could really be really good next year. At least
they can make some noise.
They can be competitive.
They're going to be like the Cavs of last year.
Right. I should have said that last year. I think the Pistons can be competitive in a lot of games just because I like their roster. Yeah. It's just a matter of how many of those games you think is going to go their way. Obviously, they're not very far from, I would say, the Knicks. Like with the Knicks, Pacers, Wizards, Hornets, Pistons, and I still think they're a bit better than the Magic. But those 3 teams I said before them, I think they're close to them in talent level, or at least, the way their roster is structured. So I could see them winning those games. And then obviously you play your Utahs, your Thunders, your Rockets, and those games will add up. Obviously, it's going to take for them to win some games against harder opponents, and we'll see if they can do that. But I think the roster is good enough to where if they coach it right, they can be competitive some of the time.
I like how their roster's built, and I really like that Ivy pick. Like,
perfect.
He's going to compliment Cade. He's going to take some pressure off of Cade, and then, maybe Sadiq Bey, who scored 50, right?
50, 10 threes in that game.
He can easily blow up at any night.
Right.
It happened last year.
Yeah.
And they also added Nerlens Noel,
who's a really solid defensive center. Like,
yeah, very good.
I got to see him play live, and I think he got a block that game. I'm not sure.
Probably did.
Yeah, probably.
He probably averaged a block.
Yeah, he probably does. I'm not gonna lie.
He's like shot blocking center.
Yeah. But yeah, roster is good. Roster is really, really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty high on them.
Structure, because talent level that can be discussed. Because obviously they don't have a player on the level of Bradley Beal or I mean, Cade isn't at LaMelo's level yet. At least we haven't seen it in the league. But it's going to be a second year next year.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and how sophomore seasons are.
Right. Let's not act like Cade can't break out and be an all-star level guard next year. So Yeah, I think that's a fair take. You're higher on the Pistons. I'm gonna be a little more, I guess. I don't want to say realistic because that kind of shoots down your idea, but I'm gonna say realistic because it's the only word I can think of. But like, I just think the teams that I have over them have the star players that are gonna be able to beat. Here's the thing for me. If you're asking I think it's more likely that the Wizards, when healthy, can beat a team like the Raptors than it is for the Pistons when healthy can beat the Raptors. That's the thing.
I can see that.
Just because I think Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis, if healthy and playing, are just a little more established and are bound to be more consistent than Ivy is. I think Ivy is going to be good. He's definitely someone who I can see winning Rookie of the Year, but it just comes down to like how consistent can a rookie actually be. But yeah, I like that pick. I'm not mad at it at all, even though it's a bit higher than I would have.
Yeah, I do like your pick, and now I'm reconsidering putting Detroit higher because I had them at 14.
I think 14 is a bit low. Yeah, wait, I had them at 14.
We had them at the same. We had the
both
same
of you guys had them at 14.
I can see them. Let's say this.
And then I thought back on it. I was like, oh, I have them kind of high.
I can see. How about this? I'll move them up to 13, and I'll move Charlotte down to 14.
Yeah,
it's about there though. But I'm perfectly fine with 10. 10 has an argument to me.
Yeah.
Frank, your 10.
My 10, I had New York.
Okay, so we're all on the same page for that.
I think D Rose is still there.
Yeah, I forgot to bring him up. Yeah, he is there.
Oh, I forgot.
Coming off the bench, right? If we're assuming that Brunson's going to start, that's why they signed him.
Yeah, imagine they signed him with that contract for him to come off the bench. That's crazy.
I think I'm a bit more high on them. I think they, like you're saying, Julius Randle is at his all-star level. I think they're a playoff team because
sure.
If I'm gonna assume that RJ either stays the same or gets a little bit better.
There's no way he gets worse. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Another loss.
Regressing already.
Yeah, and another lost some score. They lost, some guards. Nerlens Noel as well.
Right.
But quickly is still there off the bench. Derrick Rose is still there.
Top in. Hopefully he gets minutes. Honestly, he probably should now that Noel is gone. He probably get more minutes.
They had players there, and Jericho Sims. He's
Quentin
6'10".
Grimes.
Quentin Grimes. Yeah, Quentin Grimes. They were a deeper team last year anyway. And that was a problem talked about is their depth of like trying to give other people minutes. So I think they'll be fine. I've watched Jericho. I love Jericho Sims.
Also,
he tries so hard.
They are one of the few teams that have a move that is like possible or that's likely to happen. Cam Reddish doesn't want to be in New York anymore, and obviously the Lakers have interest in everyone, and they're interested in him. I'm sure there's some other teams that would be interested in Cam Reddish. I don't know where he's going to end up and what the return's going to be, but if they can get back some quality role players, I can see it happening. Maybe Cam Reddish goes
because he doesn't even play.
Yeah, he wants to go to a place where he could show his opportunity. And I'm trying to think of teams where that would make sense. Like Utah or San Antonio really are the only teams where he'll actually get that. Because even if he goes to like the Thunder, he'll get more opportunity, but he won't get opportunity to show he's that guy. Like that's not going to be what it is. So maybe they go to San Antonio and they get like Rudy Gay and Lonnie Walker or something like that, like a couple solid dudes who can play for him. But
Lonnie Walker plays for the Lakers.
Oh yeah, Lonnie Walker isn't even on the Spurs anymore.
Yeah,
Rudy Gay is on the Jazz.
Rudy Gay's on the Jazz.
Yeah, he's not even on the Spurs anymore. Who do the Spurs have?
Spurs. I think trading him to the Jazz. I think would be a good idea. Yeah, and maybe you can give back one of the role players.
Bogdanovich.
They don't need Conley.
Right.
So, but maybe you can get off some money. You can get off. Yeah, I'm high on the Knicks. They have low potential and high potential. They're like
low floor, high ceiling.
Low floor, high ceiling.
Right.
It's my thing.
It's fair.
Spurs have Jakob Poeltl, Jeremy Sohan, and the rest are nobodies.
And the rest are nobodies.
They have Vassell and like. Former Thunder player Vassell, and then they have Keldon Johnson. I was like Kendall Johnson.
Kendall
Kendon Johnson.
Josh
Kenny
Richardson?
Beecham?
Josh Richardson.
Maybe
is
Josh
there?
Richardson could go to the Knicks.
I
don't know if they need him.
They don't need him though.
They need like
Actually,
wings. He can play the 3.
He can play the 3 if that's what they want.
Right.
But they already have enough guards. That's how they got rid of. That's why they have Quickly and Derrick Rose. They don't need guards. They really don't. They do not need guards at all. And Brunson. Who's starting with her 2?
RJ, probably.
No, RJ played the 3. RJ started.
RJ. He played 2 or the 3.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe their starting lineup is Rose, Brunson, Barrett, Randall, and Robinson, and I don't like that starting lineup that much. I mean,
Derrick Rose should come off the bench,
but like all of those guys are best when they have the ball in their hands. They're all like, I wouldn't say any of them are pass first. I mean, Brunson can play make a bit. Randall's definitely not pass first. He's far from pass first. And then Barrett is a all right playmaker at best, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rose obviously can pass, but it's not really his calling card.
I think you start Quickly then, right? Have Derrick Rose come off the bench.
I mean, you could, but I also like Quickly as a 6th man more than I like him as a starter. That's the thing.
But yeah,
someone has to start. They probably start Rose.
Really?
Probably, just because he's a vet, so he'll be more fit at running the offense.
Okay. All right.
You guys want to
Also,
move to
Quickly
9?
as a little spark plug off the bench.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. Though.
Quickly is definitely a spark plug.
Yeah,
you're right. He is a spark plug. So you got Quickly off the bench along with Jericho Sims and Obi Toppin.
Yeah, it's a decently deep roster. They have a lot of young guys who could turn into solid starters to role players. I don't think they have any guys that have like star potential though.
I think Obi should play more.
Yeah, he's going to. Since Nerlens not there, he's gonna definitely play more. If he doesn't, then that's just crazy.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready though.
Yeah, I'll move on to 9. This is one I feel very passionate about because I think they're very overrated. At 9, I have the Hawks. Like, if you look at their additions and their losses, the team arguably got worse. Like, they only brought in DeJounte Murray. I'm gonna tell you the people they brought in. They brought in Tyson Etienne. Do you even know who that is?
Nope.
Trent Forrest.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. I know Trent Forrest.
I think he's in 2K.
Go.
There's AJ Griffin Jr., who's a rookie, he has high potential, but I don't think he's gonna be very good this year. Maurice Harkless, Aaron Holiday, Justin Holiday, Frank Kaminsky, whoever Tyrese Martin is, DeJounte Murray, and Chris Silva. Now I'm gonna read you the players they lost. Sharif Cooper, Gorgie Deng, Danilo Gallinari, Kevin Huerter, Kevin Knox, Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot, Skylar Mays, Lou Williams, and DeLon Wright. All of those guys played for them pretty much. At least Gallinari, Deng, Huerter, and Lou Williams and DeLon Wright played for them. Those are all 5 of their like bench players. And they brought in a starter.
And Frank Kaminsky.
Like the team as a whole got worse, I would say. I think they have a great starting 5. And then after that, I don't really know what's going on down there. AJ Griffin is cool, but
they took a star over depth, is what
right.
That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah, so I have them at 9. I just don't think they're deep enough.
But I think that like Justin Holiday and
Aaron
Holiday.
I mean, they're not bad players. They don't
get opportunity like that.
I think Justin Holiday specifically is really good.
They signed both Holidays.
Yeah, the only one who's not there is Drew. So, and then Frank Kaminsky is obviously he's an all right big,
all right backup.
Nothing special, but like, I just don't really Mo Harkless
used to be the guy though.
AJ Griffin. Tyrese Martin, like the bench is still very questionable. The thing I thought about was maybe I have them as a team that's really good in the regular season because their starting lineup is so good that they will be able to beat up on some teams in the regular season. But when it comes to playoff time, they're not deep enough to really go anywhere for me.
Right, like so the Sixers.
Yeah, but even worse than the Sixers, I think. The Sixers last year, the Sixers didn't have a lot of depth, but in general, the Sixers have been pretty decent on depth.
I know they have better stars, but the same similarity is just like it's kind of just top heavy. You know?
Very top heavy for me. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about them. Who's you guys' 9? Frank, what's yours?
I had the Bulls here.
Oh wow. I mean, I'm not that high on the Bulls either, but 9 is kind of wild.
9 is kind of wild, huh?
Not anymore. When I made my list, I would have been like, yeah, that's a bit much. But now that I think about it, I could see. Just explain it because I think I know where you're going.
We'll see. Well, when's Lonzo coming back, right?
Yeah, that's a question. So we don't know when actually.
I don't know when Lonzo's coming back.
He's not going to be there for the start of the season. We know that for sure. He's not going to be there for the start of the season.
Right. And you got. I mean, Zach LaVine and DeRozan is good and all, but we've seen that's just not enough. That's not gonna be. It's not gonna be enough.
Especially when LaVine is never healthy either.
Right. And Vucevic.
Like,
he's all right. He had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes, but I think they got. Why I'm higher on the Hawks rather than the Bulls is just because I can see the Hawks starters being more consistent than the Bulls starting lineup. And like we we're talking about, when you have that great of a starting lineup, you can win games. And I think the Bulls are just they're not going to win like the Hawks can potentially
win.
Yeah. But I love Andre Drummond. You know I love Andre Drummond.
Drummond's your boy. He's a dog in 2K.
Dog in 2K.
Getting all-star appearances, averaging 20 and 20.
But that's they didn't really lose anybody.
Yeah, the roster stayed about the same, but
yeah,
they brought in Drummond.
So arguably they got better.
Yeah, like
maybe a little.
But I don't know. I mean, we were having this conversation on the small forward episode that got scrapped, but we were talking about DeMar DeRozan and how good he's going to be next year.
That's true. I was higher on him. I said that he would stay the same.
I think DeRozan's he's not gonna be terrible next year, but he's not gonna be, possibly MVP next year to me.
Right. No,
the season was definitely
I
an
understand what you're
outlier.
saying.
Right. So maybe that cancels it out because DeMar DeRozan gets a little worse, and then they bring in Drummond, who puts up numbers, but a lot of the time his numbers are empty, if we're being real.
Oh,
mean, they did bring in Dragic.
They lost Tristan Thompson, their media.
Tristan Thompson? He's probably out somewhere cheating on his wife as we speak.
Does he have a wife?
It depends. Are him and that one Jenner married?
No,
he's always cheating.
No way they are, right? I don't think they were.
Chloe?
They still together? I swear that was like so long ago.
They've had an off and on again relationship since 2016.
Why don't they just break up already?
Jimmy Butler's been on 4 teams since then, bro. Like
Jimmy Butler has been on 4 teams. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're married. They've discussed marriage, but they're not married. But that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, I like the Bulls pick. I think that's fine. Now that you explain it.
He's with someone named Marie Nichols, and I guess he cheated on her.
Yeah, again.
Marie Nichols. What was that reporter's name?
Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols. Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy's a dog. People talk about he was requesting towels to his room and stuff, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Rachel
Sean Watson.
Yeah. You're getting muted again,
bro.
All right, Ethan, you're unmuted because you have to say your team. But
all right, my team is the Bulls. I agree with Frank, but basically, I think I wasn't too high on DeMar DeRozan's performance last season, and no, I would not. What I'm trying to say was I was impressed by it, but I'm talking about going into next season.
Oh, okay.
It wouldn't repeat. I reworded it. I worded it weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really think I think it was an outlier, and a repeat of that it would be weird because it goes from a not good 3-point shooter to a really good one.
Right.
And like, a lot kind of
that doesn't typically happen.
Yeah. And basically, again, like Frank said, it comes down to the question of when Lonzo's coming back, and then what's up with Zach LaVine. Because I was doing some research while you guys were talking, and basically, he underwent arthroscopic left knee surgery on Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, but like May 24th. That's when this was posted, 2022. Mm-hmm. So during the season, and then he played for like the last 13 games, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'm not too sure about what's up with this because was his left knee,
Mhm.
which was also the same knee he tore his ACL with in 2017. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
if it's like a
really sure if
consistent
that's still
trend
gonna
of
bug him
that
this
knee,
season.
if it's been multiple times he's injured the same knee, then yeah, he's bound to miss a game because of it.
Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't.
I'm not sure if it's gonna keep on bugging him or like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so potential days off because of nagging injuries.
That's already two of their top,
very possible.
I would say 3 starters who are potentially going to miss games.
Yeah.
And then DeRozan's not going to be DeRozan of last year. I think we can all agree.
They also re-signed him though to a big contract. So
DeRozan or Levine?
Not
Oh,
DeRozan.
Levine did get a super.
So,
was it super max?
I believe so.
What mid-range killers are good at mid-range shots, but just can't shoot threes?
Sean Livingston.
Oh, okay. Well, he's not in the league.
Oh, you mean currently?
Because if we're talking about, because DeRozan's a great mid-range shooter, and you just start shooting threes, maybe it doesn't matter that much.
Russell Westbrook is Russell Westbrook a good mid-range shooter? I don't know.
No, he's not. He's okay, but I think I don't know. Maybe he won't be as great of a 3-point shooter, but I think he's still going to be
in the mid-range. That's him. Like that.
Obviously. I don't know. I think having a good mid-range shot can translate
to the playoffs really well, but
no, but it can transfer to a 3-point shot. I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think it's difficult. Because
it's not like he's scared to shoot threes, and it's not like he has an ugly jump shot, like his form is off or anything. They just don't really fall for him. I mean, that's really all it is.
It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. It's like I don't know.
He's not far off from having a good 3-point shot. I get what you mean. Clearly last year he showed he could hit threes, on a really consistent level.
Yeah.
Okay. No, he really didn't show that either. He shot 2 threes a game and he made 1. He made half his threes, which isn't bad at all. But
that's just not his game, so they probably don't want him doing that. That's what Levine's there for.
I'm looking at DeMar DeRozan's highest volume season in threes. In 2017, 2018, he shot 3.6 a game, and he shot about 30%. So he's not a great 3-point shooter, but again, he showed he's, I guess, capable of hitting them on a below league average clip.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Are we on 8? We're officially in the playoffs now?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to start number 8 with Toronto. I have Toronto at 8. The roster stayed around the exact same as far as I can remember. I don't think they brought in anybody. They didn't draft anyone notable either. I think the East got better. That's the reason I have them dropping from a 5 seed last year to an 8 seed this year. I think every team around them got better. But I think they have one of the 3, 4, 5 best coaches in the league. And I think even if the roster is not an amazing roster, he'll be able to coach them up to, make it work. I'm trying to look at everyone they brought in. Oh, they brought in Bo Cruz.
Oh,
they brought in Otto Porter.
That's right.
He's a solid role player.
Great role play.
And then they lost Yuta Watanabe. Yeah. They got better pretty much. So I have them at 8.
Okay. Ethan, you want to go?
Sure. I got the Hawks. Khalil touched up on them earlier. They didn't really get better. They got worse. They sacrificed some depth for a star player. That star player being in DeJounte Murray, obviously. And I think it's going to help them, I guess. But their depth isn't going to be there. It's obviously lacking, but then that is a reason why they drafted. Not drafted. Griffin? They got both Holidays, they drafted AJ Griffin for that guard depth, I guess you'd want to call it. And they also got. Did they get a big?
We were talking about.
I was just on it. Yeah.
Who were we talking about? Who they got?
Who'd they get?
I'll check, but they did get a big.
I was just on it.
Wait, who?
The Hawks. They brought in a big. I don't remember who it was though.
Oh.
I'll check right now. It was
Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah, it was Frank Kaminsky.
Okay.
But they lost Sharif Cooper,
who didn't play for them last year, but career did not work out.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I just threw that Sharif Cooper part in there. But basically, I'm not too high on them, and it at the moment, seeing DeJounte Murray to the Hawks, it's gonna make headlines, but in the bigger picture, it's not gonna affect them that much.
Right. And
It's
you
just
only have the
hurting them.
Hawks one higher than I do. Like I said, I could see a situation where they're really good in the regular season because they're going to play a good amount of teams that they have a better like roster than. But when it comes to playoff time, I don't really see them even making the second round. I mean, it would take like a really interesting, like it would have to take more than like an injury or something for me to pick them over any team in a series, depending on what the matchup is. Like, I mean, Hawks, Bulls. I don't think there's a situation where that series would even happen because I don't see the Bulls or the Hawks being that.
I don't see them being on opposite sides of the bracket.
Right, or even like in a 4-5 situation, that wouldn't happen to me.
They're on the same side.
So the only teams I could really see them playing, I could only see them being from like 9 to 6, maybe, and that would have them playing the Bucks, the Celtics, or the Sixers, and they're not beating any of those teams. That's not happening.
They might beat the Sixers
unless Joel Embiid literally dies before the series starts. They're not beating the Sixers.
Hey, they beat him before. They could beat him again.
Yeah, that was because Ben Simmons passed up that late.
That was crazy.
That was the one reason it happened. Even though Tobias Harris was also awful that series.
That was just awful. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's move on. Frank, who's your?
I had Atlanta at 8 as well.
Okay.
So
I think we talked about the starting lineup potential. It's great potential. I think they can be higher than some teams that I put down. A couple of them, but I'll just place them here just because their floor right now I think is lower than the teams above. We covered a lot of it. There's not much to say. Just
what do you consider the ceilings to be? Like, do you see them as a conference finals team?
Atlanta, I can see them,
or like a second round team at best, or what?
I can see them making this. I can see them. I don't know. We'll see. The 6 seed plays the what seed?
The 3 seed.
The 3 seed. It'd be tough for them to even cut. Like we're saying, the East is really good right now.
Especially the top of the East is really good.
Yeah, so I think even if they were the 6 seed, which I think is possible, it would be really tough for them. But I think they can be. I wouldn't say a playoff lock at all either because this is the 8 seed. And the Bulls in New York could also do something.
Right.
I don't know. It's tough. I just put them down there because it's interchangeable.
It's close.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what you guys mean for sure. Like I said, I had the Hawks at 9, so 8 isn't a huge difference. They're really close to the Raptors. But we're gonna move to 7 because everyone said they're 8, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, who was your 8?
My 8 was the Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors.
Oh, okay.
So at 7, I have Chicago. And honestly, I'm kind of looking a little more downwards on them. The trajectory is definitely down from when I made this. They technically improved the roster by names. They kept this roster pretty much the same, and then they added a solid backup center. And so technically speaking, they did improve the roster, but I expect DeMar DeRozan to kind of fall off a little bit, and I doubt Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine's health. And honestly, I'm trying to look at DeMar DeRozan and how healthy he's been throughout his career. Last year he was really healthy, but he's also going to be 33. So not going to like prey on his downfall and be like, oh, he's old, he's going to start getting hurt. There's some older guys who don't really get hurt all that often, but as you get older, your body does start to wear down. So that could also be an issue. So that's why I have them at 7. Well, I didn't really say any reason why I have them at 7. I said a bunch of reasons why they should be lower than 7, to be honest. So honestly, I can see them in a 9 to 7 tier though, like from that 3 group of teams. That's why I have them. Ethan, if you want to follow up, or Frank, if you want to.
So you have these guys. You just said them, the Raptors. I got the Raptors at 7 because Scotty, he's going into his 2nd year, right?
Yeah.
He just won Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he could erupt. Who knows? They also
sophomore year is always huge. Year is always huge.
Like at any point, these sophomore rookies or sophomore players can just erupt for something,
right?
And you're gonna be like, oh, what happened to this guy?
Yeah.
And basically, they got rid of my twin, Yuta Watanabe, but they added Bo Cruz, and Koloko, who's a decent big man who might be able to complement Pascal Siakam.
Yeah,
but
it depends on how much he plays. Cause
yeah,
he's like a second-round pick.
Second round pick. He's probably going to be coming off the bench or
in the G League.
A G League project, maybe called up every now and then. Who knows? Like a James Wiseman type thing, but
that was because James Wiseman was hurt.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I see
I
what
have
you
them
mean.
at 7 because I think they might squeeze their way in and do better than the teams below them. But they're again, I don't really see their ceiling as something crazy.
Also, definitely one of the best coached teams in the league.
For sure.
And I think what I'm going to do before you go, Frank, I'm going to, in this moment, I'm going to move the Raptors up to 7. So I'm agreeing with you, Ethan. I'm going to move the Bulls down to 8. And I think that's where you had the Bulls at, Frank. So
I had Bulls at 9. I had Atlanta at 8. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm moving the Bulls down 1 because I'm just a bit, lower on the Bulls now that we're really talking about it. But yeah, I like all the points you brought up for the Raptors. Another thing, it's really the coaching for me. I think that sets a lot of teams apart, and they're pretty deep. I wouldn't say that they're the deepest team in the league, but they have a lot of quality guys who can contribute. No one who's going to drop 50 on any night. I wouldn't expect any of their guys to drop 50, but a lot of guys could get you 25 on a random night. So a lot deeper, and they usually play really good defense. So, Frank, if you want to go, or if you want to follow up on what Ethan said.
I'll just say I'll agree with Ethan. I have Toronto at my 7.
All right, so we all are in consensus that Toronto's 7.
Yeah, again, they're not talking about the lower play-in team or the play-in teams. I think it's still interchangeable in my opinion. Right. I mean that is a play-in, right? Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Play
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, so 7 seed. If you have the Raptors at the 7 seed, who's your 10 seed?
Raptors at the 7 seed. I have New York.
Yeah, so Raptors Knicks.
Raptors Knicks or Bulls or Atlanta. One of those.
Yeah, those would be good playing matchups, but like
it would be. They all have talent of some sort.
Yeah, star players.
Yeah. Well.
Other than the Knicks kind
of RJ.
Like I don't know how excited we are about RJ Barrett, but yeah. So we're at 6?
Yes.
So I think at 6 in my opinion at least, we're hitting another jump.
One.
For 6?
Oh yeah.
We're hitting we have another jump that we just hit. So I think it went from like 11 to
11
9.
to 7 are all interchangeable-ish.
Right. Yeah, I'd say. And then after
not really, yeah.
I would say 7 isn't interchangeable because I think the Raptors are gonna make the playoffs pretty comfortably.
Okay.
But talent-wise, I see what you mean. Like roster isn't that much more exceptional than any of the other teams, but I think they're for sure making the playoffs. But I think once we hit 6, now we're talking about teams that could make the conference finals for sure. So Frank, if you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll go. I had Cleveland here.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I have them higher a little bit, so
I understand why you think that.
I can see that.
Cleveland. Maybe I'll change it later, honestly. But Cleveland has 3. I mean, 3 guys I think of on top of the head. You got Mitchell, you got Darius Garland, and Jared Allen. That's
Mobley.
And Mobley, but that's almost Jared Allen. I think is an underrated big.
Very underrated.
He's not talking about rebounder, shot blocker. He has everything what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mobley, right? If you have him at the 4, that's also deadly.
Yeah.
I know they're talking about how Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell's defense. It's like, oh, it's gonna be so bad. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be doable. Like if the Jazz were the 1 seed a couple years ago, it's fine. It'll be fine.
It's not a big deal. I don't think.
Right.
But those are. It's almost like a big 3. I know it's not a big 3, but they're not superstars. None of them.
Yeah, but it's like 3 all-stars.
3 all-star caliber players, in my opinion. It's just
a young 3.
Young 3 that overwhelms, I think, the teams that we've been naming, in my opinion.
And Mobley's, he's not on the level of them, but he's not far either. It's like a 4. Like, I think they're also really deep.
Yeah, they got Kevin Love,
LeVert,
Cedi Osman,
Rubio. Cedi Osman is solid. Only 2 spots on the roster I'm not really a big fan of is their backup power forward and their starting small forward.
Backup power forward. And then Kevin Love.
No, they
Or
have
is he-
Kevin Love is
Okoro
the
as well.
backup center.
you saying he's a center?
Yeah, Okoro is the starting small forward, and I'm like not the hugest fan of Okoro right
Yeah.
now. Not an amazing 3-point shooter, which is kind of what they would probably want.
So
Someone
I
what
who
mean,
that is what they
if
want.
that's the case, then I think that they should play SETI.
They want a 3 and D. Honestly,
yeah, they could
that's
play
like
Seti or
Yeah.
Okoro, and then they still have Levert, right?
they
Yeah,
said
they still have
over.
Levert.
They come off the bench. Is he still injury prone? Because I know he'd be injury prone.
Yeah, he doesn't play all the time, but when he does play, he's really solid. I think he scored like 15 points a game last year. Unless
Yeah.
I'm eyeballing it. I can't spell his last name. It's with the E.
Let's see here.
Oh, hey, we've been pronouncing SETI Osman's name wrong this whole time. It's
How is it?
It's Zeddy.
Jetty.
Oh, Jetty. My
No,
bad.
it's
Yeah,
Jetty
it's Jetty.
Jetty?
Osman.
Jetty, like G?
J-E-D.
Yeah, it's Jetty.
Okay.
J-E-D. Yeah.
Okay, Jetty Osman. Apparently,
Jetty
Kevin Levert's nickname is Baby Durant. No one has ever called him that before. Who called him Baby Durant?
Wait, who?
On Basketball Reference, you know how it shows the people's nicknames?
Right, Jetty? You mean?
No, Karis LeVert's nickname is Baby
Karis
Durant.
LeVert.
Who called him that?
I don't know, but I guess I understand what they're trying to say.
I can't.
Because when I watch him play, he's like he dribbles and he pulls up. You know.
Oh wow! People who take pull-up jumpers are Kevin Durant now. Russell Westbrook.
I don't know. I be thinking. Yeah, you Russell. All right.
Yeah, he averaged 17, 3, and 4.
SETI's
4 and
nickname
4.
is Jedi.
Jedi
I don't know,
Osman.
it's something.
That's kind of fire, I guess. It makes a little more sense than Baby Durant does to me. But yeah, I have the Cavs a little higher just because I think their their needs are a little what's it called? Easier to fill. Like if they can get, I don't know if they can get Cam Reddish. I don't know how they'd be able to do it. But if they could get Cam Reddish, that'd be kind of cool.
The Cavs?
Yeah, I don't know if they could though. I don't think they have the assets.
I don't think they can.
And they don't have the picks. So
yeah.
Isn't Ricky Rubio ACL or something?
No, he had an ACL injury last year, but he's back now. He's healthy. He's good.
Oh, he's healthy. He's gonna play starting of the season.
That's why he's my twin.
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to think of the bench right now. You got
it'd be
Rubio,
Levert, Osman, whoever
Osman,
their 4 is, and then
Love. Ken Love. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I like their team. They're deep and they got some star power.
Inexperience might hurt them. So like come to playoff time, if they play a team that they're a higher seed then and they lose, I would be like, okay, the team that they're probably going against is probably more experienced, and I could see that. So I'm not going to be like this team is going to the conference finals, but they are really good and they're going to be good for like the next 3 years. So, let's move on. Or no, not move on. We're all still at 6, right?
We're still at 6.
So I'll go next. I have Brooklyn at 6.
Okay.
I mean, the roster did get better, but I do, isn't Steve Nash still the coach?
He is still the coach.
Yeah, so I'm a little concerned with the drama that could occur during the season because obviously if your best player is like, I want you fired or I'm not playing here again, if you come back, it's going to be a little tense, just a little tense. Also, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving both are not very reliable when it comes to playing consistently. And Ben Simmons hasn't played in 2 years?
Yeah, so he's going to play.
Yeah, the 3 best players either are consistently hurt or out for other reasons.
Questionable.
Yeah. But that big 3 is really good. Like those 3 players are really, really good if they're all at their best and they're all playing and they're motivated. So I will say that because I am higher on Ben Simmons than some people are, but it really just comes down to health and if this
availability
stuff, health availability, and if this off-season stuff isn't an issue come regular season time. Ethan, if you want to give me your 6 or if you either have something to follow up.
Oh, wait, did I not? I did.
No, Frank gave his 6 for the Cavs.
Oh,
yours is also
Cleveland?
Cleveland?
I had the Cavs. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I said it. My fault. But man, they got SETI, my guy, or Jetty, whatever.
Jetty,
he's the GOAT.
We just
went over this,
right?
Yeah, I'm the one who told you guys about it. But basically, them adding Donovan Mitchell is going to take their team to the next level. They added Don, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's taking them to a different level now.
What seed were they last year? Oh, they missed the playoffs. They were an 8 seed in the playoffs, and then they lost to like the Hawks in the play-in, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think them adding Donovan Mitchell is gonna add that extra oomph on offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, relieve Okoro or not Okoro. Oh my God, what's bro's name?
Garland.
Garland. Yes.
Yeah.
Relieve Garland a little bit. You know, maybe get a bucket here and there. Yada yada. Who cares?
Bro said Okoro like Okoro didn't average 7 points last year. Like, take that scoring pressure off of Okoro, who's averaging a whopping 5.4 points this year.
Said he actually averages 10 points from 35% the 3-point line.
He's solid. Honestly, he might start. Like what you were saying, he might start. He's not the most amazing defender, but he's also not an awful defender. But yeah, I like Cleveland a little more than you guys do. I think they're really deep. Like, I'm a big fan of their depth, and I also think here's the thing: they're kind of like the Hawks, with the starting lineup is like really good.
Yeah,
and they also have a much better bench.
The bench isn't as much of a fall off as the Hawks are.
Way better. Like, I would say it's a good bench unit. Like,
yeah, K-Love. And Caleb and LeVert alone is just
that's like two players who could start on some teams.
Yeah, that's like a duo right there.
Right, like, and then you have Ricky Rubio, who's solid, and he was on the Cavs last year before they traded him to get LeVert.
And they really wanted him back.
Good there, right?
They really wanted him back because of his impact.
And then, like you said, Ethan Osman averaging 10 off the bench is pretty impressive. Or starting, I don't know if he starts or is off the bench because I'm going to be honest, I wasn't watching Cavs games last year, even if they were good. This year, they're going to be one of my League Pass teams. They're going to definitely be one of my. For the East, we could talk about this after. They're definitely one of my League Pass teams because I have some favorites.
So you bought League Pass?
Yeah, they made League Pass cheaper.
How much does League Pass cost?
I don't know, but they dropped the price by 56%.
They dropped it like 56%. Yeah,
I saw the post on Rap.
So you didn't buy it with 2K23?
No,
$150
for League Pass, and then League Pass becomes cheaper like a month later.
Right.
Yeah, nah. Once I get 2K, if I get 2K, I probably will. I'm not getting the
game comes out Friday.
Michael Jordan edition.
I'm gonna probably get the normal base edition and spend some extra like $20 on VC. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to buy the $1,050 version with a Michael Jordan go-kart and
Michael Jordan go-kart,
Spider-Man cutscenes,
signed t-shirts.
Like, no one wants that version of 2K. I just want to upgrade my build. I don't want my team packs. Leave me alone. I wish I could get the J. Cole cover though, but it's only next gen. So sad.
Oh man, hey Ethan, might be get that.
Yeah. Hey Frank, we're gonna have to go GameStop someday.
Hey,
take me with you, Frank.
I don't know, man. It's kind of scary out there. I'm gonna get shot.
Real?
We're getting shot like everywhere we go.
Oh my god, no! For Senior Assassin. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
We're getting our ass. Oh, dude. Yeah, we gotta get those floaties, man. They better come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trust issues on 100.
100%.
We're on 6, right? Or are we moving up to 5?
We are on 5.
Moving on to 5.
The last one to share 6. Okay, right. So this is. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I'm like iffy because it comes down to availability, and I'm guessing you guys already know who I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say the Nets.
Brooklyn. Yeah.
The Mets.
The Nets.
Yeah, the Mets. You know, Edwin Diaz. Anyways.
Jacob deGrom.
But I'm legit though. Both teams have availability issues. The Mets and the Nets, and
they're both in New York.
Yeah.
In New York.
It just comes down to if Kyrie is going to be able to play for the whole season. I'm guessing it's going to be the same as last year. He'll just play half, like home games.
No. That rule doesn't exist anymore.
He doesn't?
He can play full.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
then he probably won't.
Again, even if he can play full, he's probably not going to play full.
It is Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's a team with KD. And then it's also iffy Ben Simmons. Who knows if he's going to play? Back's probably aching right now anyways. Who cares? But
didn't he just call off his engagement the other day?
He did.
He did call off his engagement.
Oh my god.
With some lady.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame bailout.
That's why he's back.
Yeah, he's worrying about that instead of basketball.
Yeah. Hopefully that solves his stress issues. Who knows?
No, he's gonna go into a depressed stage.
Yeah, he's gonna come back next year. We're gonna all be expecting to watch Ben Simmons on game 1. He's like, guys, I'm going through a breakup right now.
He turns into KD. Or Kyrie.
Guys,
he's just on the sideline, like.
Yeah. Hey, he still looks good on the court, on the bench, man.
They do have a really good big 3. Again, like I said, the Brooklyn Net big 3 is like Kyrie and KD already on their own as a duo is probably talent-wise the best duo in the league, and then in the East is for sure to me the best duo in the league.
That's why I have
it just comes down to availability. It's really between like Kyrie and KD or Embiid and Harden, and both deal with availability issues. But like I was saying, big three is a lot better in Brooklyn than Philly. So
yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I had Brooklyn at 5 as well. The potential is for some reason, which I can't believe it because it's happened too many times. We're not gonna see all of them play full time.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
The potential, so here's the thing, the potential is there.
On paper, great team.
The floor is also not there.
Right. There's a very low floor. I wouldn't say very low floor because I feel like at least one of them is gonna play a good amount of games.
I think KD will carry this team to the playoffs.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
No doubt.
For all 82 games, assuming nothing crazy happens, they should have either Ben Simmons, Kyrie, or KD, or some combination of those guys. Whether it's Kyrie and Ben Simmons and KD, KD and Kyrie, like some way those guys are gonna be on the court. I don't know if they're all gonna be on the court that much, but they're gonna play, so that can win you some games. Yeah. You have anything else to say about that, Frank?
Yeah, on paper though, this might look like the best team of all time.
Time.
Oh my! Do you see this? Imagine having Kyrie and Seth Curry.
Oh yeah, they do still have
and Seth Curry will probably play games.
And Nicholas Claxton, who missed 10 free throws in a playoff game.
But Nicholas Claxton is a great
just
bench center. They got Patty Mills, who's
Royce O'Neal is solid.
Royce O'Neal, TJ Warren.
Yeah, they're pretty deep. They got Yuta Watanabe. He might get dunked on this season. Who knows?
Yeah, Joe Harris.
Yeah, he's all right. What do you think the starting lineup is going to look like? Is Ben playing the 5?
Ben is playing the 4.
I hope he plays the 5.
Oh, the 5.
Playing at the 5 would be kind of cool. Just run a lineup of who's their point guard then? Or
Kyrie?
Kyrie.
Oh, yeah, Kyrie, Seth Curry.
Kyrie, Seth, KD.
Royce O'Neal. You got to play Royce O'Neal for the defense.
Right, Royce O'Neal, KD.
Then you play Ben. KD and Ben. That's a really good starting lineup.
I was about to say Kyrie, Seth, KD or TJ Warren, and then the other one.
Yeah, at the other spot.
Yeah.
I think TJ Warren, as good as he is, he's probably better. He is better than Royce O'Neal. It just makes more sense to have him come off the bench because you don't need Kyrie, who's going to score, Ben Simmons, or KD, who's going to score, Seth Curry, who really can only score, and then Ben Simmons, he can do a bit of everything, but he's also going to try and get his buckets. Royce O'Neal will complement them a little better. It's like 3 and D. Because also, if you have Kyrie and Seth as your backcourt, that defense is pretty bad. Like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
You got to play Royce O'Neal as the starter.
Yeah.
So I hope that Ben Simmons is the starting center. I honestly think he probably has to. I mean, I don't think you can play Nicholas Claxton and Ben Simmons. I mean, obviously you can play them together, but it'd be best if you didn't because that's 2 guys who really can't shoot threes like that. But they'll make it work. I know they'll make it work, hopefully. But yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. I have them a little lower just because I'm a little, more scared about the drama, the availability, and the coaching.
That's why I was afraid of putting them higher.
Yeah,
but I felt
5 is like the max I can see them. 5 is like a clear max. My 5. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
My 5 is Miami. They didn't get better at all. They didn't bring anyone in, and they lost 2 role players, 2 key role players. They lost one of the Morris twins. I don't remember which one was on the Heat.
Markieff.
Yeah, the one who got pushed by Jokic this year or the year before. And then they lost PJ Tucker. And they brought in Nikola Jovic, who's not really I don't think he's gonna be a big part of the team this year. And obviously, the Heat, they bring in a bunch of undrafted dudes. They brought in Jamari Boye, Jamal Cain, and Darius Days. Orlando Robinson as well.
Darius.
It's my Wi-Fi.
One of those guys might be in the starting lineup by March. So who knows? Because they're always good at scouting undrafted talent. But on paper, they got worse. Jimmy Butler is a good playoff player. He's also really good in the regular season. Let's not act like he's not. But he's not gonna, be able to carry the scoring load. Obviously, that's Tyler Hero's job to do off the bench because he's not starting. And he can do that. And then Kyle Lowry is getting worse. Bam Adebayo is obviously still there, but he doesn't really. A lot of the time, he doesn't play with that urgency to score the ball. So that's a little, something I'm concerned with. I have them at 5, even though they got worse, because I trust the coaching a lot. Eric Spoelstra is top 3 coach in the league for sure. So I think they're going to make the playoffs, even though they got worse. It's not like I see them being like a negative team or anything like that. I just think, they got worse on paper. Can't really put them where they were last year because last year they were the 1 seed. That's not happening. I'm sorry. Like, that's just not happening to me. So they're my 5.
Okay.
So we're moving to 4.
We're at 4.
I'll go first because my team is like the shortest. I have Cleveland at 4. I just think they're deep. I think they have a really good starting lineup, so they're going to be able to beat up on a lot of teams. None of the guys on their team have health issues, as far as I know. Like, where someone's like been missing games for a long time like that. Like, they've been good on health.
Actually, in middle school, Donovan Mitchell tore his left knee.
Ankle. They have a good bench, like I said, and then their coach JB Bickerstaff. That's the coach, right? Yeah, that's the coach. Yeah, that's the coach of the Cavs. I'm not gonna doubt myself. Yeah, let me make sure he's the coach. Watch them have like hired Steve Kerr like 5 minutes ago.
What?
JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's the coach. Yeah, good. He's a good coach. Clearly, when they were healthy last year, they were the 1 seed at one point, I think, or they were up there like competing. They were like a 5 seed actually, without Donovan Mitchell for a good part of the year. Then when people started getting injured, obviously, things happened and they fell out of the playoffs. But if they got better and they're already a 5 seed, there's no way you can convince me they're not a top 4 team this year. It really comes down to, health. You can't predict health, but all of the guys have a good track record of health so far. So if you guys have any follow up on
that.
I agree. That's all
we have them a bit lower, but I guess what you're saying. The whole like being available is, I think, the most important thing, and they got available stars, and that's
now that I think about it,
players. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I could really move the Nets down 1, so they're now at 6, I believe.
that.
And then Cavs go up to 4. The Heat that I have right now at 4 down to 5.
Down to 5. So you would just go to my order because I have Nets, Cavs.
Because I didn't realize how much the Heat lost and how much the
It is not even like they lost a lot. They lost 2 role players though who were like getting minutes for them, and then they didn't get anyone back. So
I mean, I think I count it as a loss because
it's
the
definitely
role
a loss. On paper, you got worse. Like and then PJ Tucker was huge for them as a defender. Not really much as a scorer, but like as a defender and a floor spacer.
Nah, he was talking to KD.
Yeah, I don't know what
40
was
on
it
his
this
head.
playoffs? Was it?
No,
this
I think
playoffs?
it was the year before. It was the year before.
Where he was like, his mom got mad at PJ Tucker.
Yeah,
that was the year before. Okay,
pretty sure.
Yeah, it has to be because it was in the playoffs, and the Heat didn't play the Nets in the playoffs this
year. Yeah,
but that was wild though.
No, he proceeded to drop like 50.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really like how the Heat added Nikola Jovic. I think in his first summer league game, let me check.
He put up something crazy. I remember one of the games he put up something that I was like, all right, come on now.
Let me find his stats. I don't if you guys can find it.
Yeah, I'm searching it up. Summer league. 20. He had a 25-point game, 25 points and 9 rebounds on July 5th. So
yeah,
that's probably the game you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think it is. He was just, and then he was like super efficient from 3 too, I believe.
Yeah, I can't verify that, but I know he played good. I can't tell you how good he played.
He had a great game. Yeah, he had a great game, but him going into Heat culture, we all know it's a real thing. I'm not just making stuff up.
It's a real thing. It's a very real thing. People clearly love to go to Miami. Yeah, it's just I don't know how much he's gonna help or not help, but play because the Heat don't play people who don't play defense. Like other than Hero, and that's just because he's a really great scorer. They typically try not to play people who don't get buy-in on defense, and Nikola Jovic doesn't. He's not a good defender. So he could.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's probably going to be in the summer league or not the summer league, the G League for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him playing maybe if someone gets hurt, though.
Yeah. I'm also not too sold on Kyle Lowry. I mean, this might be a recency bias thing because
I get it. He's old. Yeah. Like he got drafted in 2009. We were 4 when bro got drafted. Like he's getting older, and his contract's not really the best. He's on one of those. He's like in that tier with Mike Conley, Russell Westbrook, and himself. Russell Westbrook is clearly the worst one because his play doesn't really fit. But they're just guards who are kind of leaving their prime, and they're on these really big deals. But yeah, I see what you mean. Not being high on Mike Conley makes a lot of sense. Or Mike Conley, Kyle Lowry.
Well, yeah, that's all I gotta say about the Heat. Frank, go ahead.
4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got Heat.
Okay.
We talked about the Heat a lot. Obviously, last PJ Tucker. What do I think? No, I was gonna say though that they don't want to play people that don't play defense unless they're Tyler Hero or a high value 3-point shooter, right?
Right.
Like Max Strus was last year.
Even a high value 3-point shooter like Duncan Robinson is a great 3-point shooter. They didn't play.
He didn't play. He
wasn't.
Playoffs.
But he wasn't as good as he was.
Yeah, no, he had his great 3-point shooting year, and then he was still good, but he wasn't.
Right.
Where his 3-point shooting outweighed the defense.
Right. So if he has another great 3-point shooting year, he's gonna get minutes.
Right.
And he's gonna get 20 plus, maybe even 30, just because.
Jimmy Butler is your best player, who when we were doing the small forwards list that also got botched, isn't bro shooting 20% from 3 on like
it was bad.
Attempts?
It was bad.
2 attempts. Like, yeah. So you kind of need that 3-point shooting.
Yeah, I actually had Miami higher than I heard you guys talking about, and I kind of rethought it because, and also we talked about Jimmy Butler before. He's not as good as he is. He's just not
a scorer. That's not his thing.
I don't want to say he's not that guy. It's just like the teams that are winning have better superstar players.
Right.
He's not
superstar players.
The scorer that you would like on a superstar team.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not the super. Wait, I get what you mean. You just worded it really bad. Like,
yeah.
I get what you mean. He's clearly like, okay, no, not clearly, because I have KD below him, and I would still say KD is better than Jimmy Butler. I just think the Heat have a more I guess
they have a better team.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play better defense on a night-to-night basis. So that really helps. And the Heat just don't really lose games that they shouldn't lose. They like to win. I mean, every team likes to win, but those guys try night in, night out. Whereas I can see KD, Kyrie, that team kind of
they don't mind losing, but the Heat don't want to lose.
Yeah. So that's why I have them a bit higher. Obviously, again, not best coach, one of the best coaches. You could argue best coach in the league.
Did Pop retire? Or is he still in?
Pop is still around. He's still kicking it.
Okay.
But yeah. I also don't think Pop is the best coach in the league anymore. One of the best coaches of all time, but not one of the best coaches in the league. I think what you guys said about Miami at 4 is fair. Obviously, they were a 1 seed last year, so 1 to 5 is a pretty big drop off. But I still think they're in that tier of teams that I could see in the conference finals. I don't know if they're a finals team, but definitely I could see them in the conference finals if things play out for them. It'd be really hard though. It would be extremely hard for them to make the conference finals, especially where I have them at, because they would be in a 4-5 with the Cavs. I could see them beating the Cavs because they're more experienced. So I could definitely see that happening. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, the Cavs suck. But then the next round, they would play the 1 seed, and I'm not going to say who my 1 seed is, but they're not beating that team. It's not happening.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So we're in the top 3 now?
Yes, we are.
And we all have the same 3 teams, I think. Yeah, we have the same 3 teams.
I have the Wizards.
Johnny Davis is going to go off for 44 points per game. You want to start, or who wants to take it?
Frank, you should take it.
Yeah, Frank, you should take it. Take it, Frank.
All right. So number 3.
The Lakers?
I had the Sixers.
Yeah.
The Sixers, man. I wanted to put them
before you say anything, I have them at 3 as well.
I do as well. So we can just all contribute to this conversation.
Okay. See, I almost put them at 2, but I'm gonna just keep them here.
There's an argument. I will say you weren't being like a biased fan. There's an argument, especially with the Gallinari injury. So
that's a tough injury. That was kind of
a big
that sucks. Yeah, it's a big blow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got PJ Tucker, we got Daniel House, we got some more depth, which is what we needed.
What you guys were lacking, pretty much. That was
it. Hopefully no one gets injured.
Yeah.
Embiid just falls. He just falls.
Harden eats too many honey buns.
Back, and he's like eating a burger, and
Tobias Harris puts up 10 points a game while being like the third highest paid player in the league.
Dude,
I mean, you guys still have Tyrese Maxey, who's a crazy good third option.
Yeah, our starting lineup is still incredible.
Right.
Incredible potential. We'll see what James Harden does this year. I mean,
Matisse Thybulle.
Matisse Thybulle. He's I like him a lot. He gets those defensive highlights, but him just shooting a 3-point shot and him not making it, I'm just like, man, come on.
He 0 for 8. 0 for 8 with 3 steals and a block in 40 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know. But I see the two teams higher than him higher than the Sixers have more experience and just I think
availability.
They deserve to be at that spot.
I also don't like you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna say Doc Rivers is the worst coach in the world, but he's had his moments where it's like
he's notorious for selling.
Yeah,
notorious for selling.
Yeah, he's fumbling the bag, bro. Consistently fumbling the bag. But yeah, I have them at 3. Probably the best duo one of the best duos in the league, just in general, I would say. As far as like talent, like when Embiid and Harden are both at their best, they are the best duo in the league for sure. So yeah, definitely all of that. Then again, you guys brought in PJ Tucker, who I think is really solid. He's starting, so I don't know how that's gonna work. I guess Toby just moves to the 3 because you don't pay PJ Tucker that much money to come off the bench. It's not happening.
Tobias cannot play the 3.
Tobias goes to the bench.
He goes to the bench.
That made the best choice, honestly.
Right. Have him be like, honestly, I can see that working. Like you go like Joel, PJ, Matisse, Tyrese, Harden. Matisse and PJ are both like off the ball guys who play defense. PJ can actually hit threes. Matisse might be able to make a layup
hit a
or
3
something.
Every now and then.
You draw a foul and hit one of his 2 free throws, maybe if we're being ambitious. But yeah, I like the Sixers roster. They were already good last year and they got better. So we'll just say that.
I like their roster. I don't really enjoy the loss of Danny Green because he was that part of that 3-point.
I don't like the loss of Seth Curry. Like that.
Seth Curry. Oh yeah, that's.
I forgot about that.
He had to go to get Harden, but it was like, I'm just glad you guys did keep Matisse.
Yeah,
I was big on keeping Matisse because it's like Matisse is a really good defender, so keep him.
I think we should have given Matisse up if we could have, or we should have kept Seth Curry if we were able to.
You can find shooting in a lot of spots. I feel like
not Seth Curry.
Seth
Curry's in a league of his own, man. He's a league of his own.
But Matisse Thybulle is all NBA defense, so it's like
you're right.
That's like
it's really one or the other.
That's a top 10 defender, pretty much.
Yeah, you can put him on somebody, and it's tough for that person. It's important. Right. You're right. It's important to have one guy like that.
Yeah. I mean, who else do you guys have a big man?
Big man, Paul Reed.
I like Paul Reed.
Yeah.
I thought Paul Reed should have started in some games when Embiid was hurt. And
he's too short. I don't.
Height doesn't matter. Robert Williams is 6'8". Come on.
It does matter because I remember last year looking at the Sixers roster. They got Embiid, 7-footer. Okay, cool. And we look at their other centers; they're all 6'9". I'm like, what is going on? And then I see like these
rebound,
and I see these other teams just scoring on us with bigs, and there's nothing we can do about it because Paul Reed sometimes gets abused.
Maybe y'all could play PJ Tucker at the 5.
That's even worse, dude. Imagine they put him at the 5, back up 5. Like, what's with these short centers? It doesn't work.
Get a single rebound the whole game.
Yeah,
I brought that up because you guys lost DeAndre Jordan, and the Nuggets signed him in the recent offseason.
You guys got DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah. I mean,
he's still in the league. He's still playing.
I mean, it's better than Dwight, I guess. I don't know.
Dwight
is better than DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Why is DeAndre Jordan playing still?
Because he's a presence. He's a 7-footer, and it's important because I remember when he played for the Sixers. No, when the Sixers played him, which they did sometimes. I know it's not like he's still retired, but the presence of having a 6-foot big man it means something. I don't know.
6 foot? You mean 7 foot?
Oh, my bad. 7 foot.
6 foot big is crazy. Chris Paul, go get some rebounds real quick.
you should put your hand up and people I don't know.
Yeah,
Take a charge.
The addition of PJ Tucker is obviously going to help them because Harden took that pay cut to get someone else. Yeah. That person being PJ Tucker, and hopefully it helps them out and picks up on their defense. Right. You know, so they can't just pick on people. Like,
when does Tobias Harris's contract expire? Sorry for interrupting, but like, when
never
is he be off of that deal? Like, like does he like leave anytime soon?
Let's see, but he makes the most money on the team. He's gonna be here for
free agent 2024.
Ah, 2 more years?
No, 1 more year. 1 more year.
Oh yeah, because it's 22, 23.
No,
it'd be 23, 24.
Oh, so 2 more years. Oh.
Oh god. Sixers.
Oh, that's tough.
All right, let's move on to 2. I think we should all have the same 2.
Yeah.
I got the Milwaukee. No, I'm kidding. The Boston Celtics are at 2.
Yeah.
They could have had a case for 1 because they did improve and they were already the 2 seed last year. But then Gallinari, it comes out he has a torn ACL, so that kind of moves them down to 2 or 3 because I could see the Sixers jumping them. But you know, Celtics are the Celtics. They got better still, even if they lost Gallinari. Still have someone who I think can win 6th Man of the Year. Derek White is still solid. Al Horford hopefully is still solid because he is older, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be good next year. But like, I'm gonna guess he will be. Tatum, top 10 player in the league. Brown, one of the best shooting guards in the league. Defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. You know, Robert Williams, who I think also has a chance, if healthy, to win defensive player of the year, if all things go right. But yeah, I really just like the Celtics roster. They're good.
I really like how they were built. Good. They added Malcolm Brogdon, helped them out a little bit on their scoring and off the bench. You know, spark plug-ish, kind of dish the ball out. And I don't know who JD Davidson is, but bro's picture on
the
Real
big
GM
hit,
is
he has a bunch of
interesting.
Hair. Yeah, he goes to. I think he went to Bama. Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's unfortunate about Gallinari getting injured during the offseason, but it happens.
And it's not even like it's an injury he can come back from this season. He's not playing.
Yeah, it's the same knee that he tore as well in 2014, I believe.
Dang, you've been on your injury like what's it called? Research. Knee.
Yeah, I mean it's a torn ACL. I mean I experienced it obviously.
Yeah. Give us some insight on that. When do you think Gallinari will be back to full health?
What was his injury again?
When did he tear it? This month? August?
He tore it like a couple weeks ago.
August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. He'll be back for next summer league.
Gallinari in the summer league.
But for real, it's going to take him 9 to 12 months to recover from an ACL surgery. It sucks.
I honestly think we should move the Celtics down to the 4 seed. If you look at the losses and acquisitions, you can see they lost NFL quarterback and former MVP Matt Ryan. So I don't know if we can keep them this high. I mean, do they have anyone who can have that presence in the pocket, who can maneuver through pressure, step up, hit a 50-yard bomb to Julio? Like, losing Matt Ryan is huge.
Yes, Luke Cornett, who got re-signed.
Cornett?
I don't.
Cornett. It's Cornett. It's not Cornett, bro.
Luke
Cornett.
Luke Cornett.
Sam Hauser. He might be huge. He might go crazy. He looks like the kind of guy to drop 70.
For sure.
He's got that in him. He's got that dog in him. That canine.
Got that presence.
We still have to do the game predictions for week 1 of the football season. So let's just all be straight up about the Bucks. They're the 1 seed. They're the best player in the world. And they they didn't really lose anyone. They kept the same roster, and then they just added Joe Ingles. So
they have great everything.
Right. So,
everything. I mean, maybe you can tell me I'm wrong about maybe one thing, a few things, but they got it. We talked about them before.
They have great what, Ethan?
Defense.
No, all right.
Great defense, great offense, star player, shot creator, defenders, shooters. It don't matter. They
really didn't lose anyone, bro.
Yeah.
It's just hopefully Chris Middleton's back to.
He should be.
He should be.
They signed AJ Green.
Hello, the receiver.
I mean, he's white.
Hey, same difference. I mean, like AJ.
AJ
Green. He looks a little different. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he surgery or something. Facial reconstruction.
He's from Iowa.
Surgery. Yeah,
he's
that's
from
AJ
Iowa,
Green.
so
Bro,
that's
get Matt
interesting.
Ryan and AJ Green on the same team. It's over.
Oh my god.
It's over. It's over.
They re-signed a lot of people.
Yeah, their whole roster got
Yeah,
re-signed.
they kept everyone.
Portis,
That's
Wesley
great.
Matthews, Serge. They have good big man depth. Great big man depth because Giannis is a big, if we're being real.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez, Serge Ibaka, Bobby Portis. That's 4 really good bigs.
Yeah.
Like really, really good bigs. And then they kept Pat Connaughton. He's solid. Like really solid. Javon Carter is cool. You know, Wesley Matthews can space the floor out sometimes, maybe occasionally.
Mhm.
And
They have,
then
like-
they brought in Joe Ingles, who's like a great 3-point shooter.
You guys know
Yeah.
Giannis dropped like a 60-point triple double, right?
Yeah,
For Greece. Yeah.
yeah. He'd be going crazy.
Yeah.
You see that
He's
block
gonna
he
go
had?
crazy.
You see
Which
the block
one?
he had on the 3-point shot?
You can't just say that
Which
block.
block did Giannis have? The one on the 3-point shot, like in the fourth quarter where the clock was like running down and he wasn't even close to the ball and he blocked it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's some stuff out of 2K.
Before we move on to NFL, who are you guys as Eastern Conference League Pass teams? Like, who are you looking forward to watch, good or bad? Give me 3 teams who you're like, these are the 3 I'm looking forward to watch. Frank, you can give us 2 because I already know one of yours is the Sixers.
Yeah, you're right. Sixers. Man. Wait, hold on a second. Maybe
good.
Indiana.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to watch Bennedict Mathurin play.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Brooklyn, if Ben Simmons is healthy,
Mm-hmm.
because he's my guy.
For me, I think at the moment I'm gonna say the Cavs, the Nets, and then Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah.
I have 4.
Go ahead.
Pistons, Pacers, Cavs. But what was my 4th one?
I don't know. You can't break the
Man,
rules though.
Celtics.
Okay, that's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. All right. We've been recording for almost 3 hours, so let's move on to the NFL.
We have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Zoom has been up for 3 hours. I don't know how long that's been of us recording. Probably a little over 2 though. So
Like
let's
2
move
and a
on.
half.
Yeah, 2.5.
This is gonna be a good return episode. So you guys are getting.
Imagine the Wi-Fi breaks down and gets deleted again.
Oh no.
What happened to the episode?
Hey, hey, no, but could that possibly happen again?
No, I doubt it. We're good. And
right,
honestly, when the internet goes out, if I go back in the Zoom, it does a cut on its own. If I'm recording, it'll go back in and I'll be recording again. And what will happen is from the point where I got out, it'll cut, and then when I come back in, it'll just start. I don't have to edit or anything. But let's hope that doesn't happen. So
let's get into the schedule.
I say we retire.
First
I got
game
the schedule.
First game that's gonna come out. Bills Rams.
Let's give a little
Who you guys
preview.
got?
Obviously, top dogs. Bills are my Super Bowl team for this year. Rams won the Super Bowl last year. Who's gonna win?
Rams are gonna win.
So unpredictable.
I got the Bills. Trey White's coming back. Von Miller's coming off that edge. No more Whitworth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go Bills just to be,
I got James Cook rushing for 150 yards.
That's very specific.
I'm kidding.
Eagles, Lions. Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun though because it's gonna be like not new look Lions, but like first game
Lions.
of the
modern Lions.
I gotta watch the new episode.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks. Yeah.
Jameson Williams isn't playing, right? Because he tore his ACL.
Yeah, ACL in the national
college football championship.
Okay. Like it's too near for him to come back.
Yeah.
Niners, Bears.
Niners.
I think I'm gonna go Niners just because their overall roster is better. It's gonna be good to see Trey Lance play. I do look forward to that. Yeah, but the Bears are like one of the worst teams in the league. So
yeah.
Steelers, Bengals.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
I'm going with the upset.
No,
Bengals.
it's not.
It's not gonna come here. Not gonna be the upset. Yeah, not a lot to say.
I think this is the one where we start to branch off-ish. Dolphins, Patriots.
I can see it either way.
I see Dolphins.
I say
I'm going Dolphins.
I mean, it's Bill Belichick. Oh, it's in Miami, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
Okay, I'm going with the Dolphins. The Patriots never beat the Dolphins in Miami. Like that's just a known thing. I think it's gonna be a good game. One of the better games of the morning, at least so far for the morning group. It might be the best game thus far. Yeah, honestly, might be the best morning game of the day.
Yeah.
It's pretty comfortably the best morning game of the day. I'm honestly gonna look at it. Next game, Browns Panthers. I got Panthers. I don't know who the Browns quarterback is for the first few weeks. Like I don't know who that is. Who's QB2 on the Browns?
Geno Smith? No,
he's not. He's on the Seahawks.
Let me see this. I think I was looking at this.
What's his name? Jacoby
ago.
Brissett? Is he on the Browns?
Yeah.
Is he?
He is. He is on the Browns.
He's the starting quarterback. Yeah. Give me Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun to watch him get his revenge. But that's the only revenge he's getting because the Panthers are gonna go back to sucking next week. That's probably, I guess, the biggest upset. But you know, the Browns are obviously a little shorthanded because they don't have their quarterback for reasons that we all understand.
Yeah,
Colts, Texans,
Panthers. Texans. I'm kidding. I'm going Colts.
Colts.
Yeah, they have one of the. I have the Colts as one of the best defenses going into next year.
Yeah, and the O line is really solid, and they have one of the better running backs in the league. You could say maybe top 5. I don't know if you want to say he's the best, but top 5 at least. Saints, Falcons, Saints. All right, Jameis is back. I think starting week 1, even though he tore his ACL, I think he should be back.
Ravens, Jets. What's Zach Wilson isn't playing, right? Is he?
I don't think he's back.
Something with his
knee
happened.
Injury.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
I
injury.
forgot to follow up on it.
Yeah, Jets running back better do good for me this year.
Brees.
It's possible he plays Sunday. It's not. He's questionable at the moment. We'll say that.
Oh, it's a bone bruise.
Oh, okay. So it's playable, but like I don't know if they want to do that.
It's gonna nag him. I had a bone bruise when I tore my ACL. It hurt.
Damn, you just had every injury?
Well, I had a bone bruise, torn meniscus, partial torn meniscus actually, fully torn ACL. That's it.
Bro, if you got that injury in like franchise mode in Madden, your week length would be like 121, bro. you wouldn't play ever again. What's it called? So Ravens, Jets, we all have the Ravens, even though I think like the Ravens roster isn't amazing. I just think Lamar can win you a game. Jags, Commanders.
Jags. Are the Jags a favorite for that one?
No, the Commanders probably would be, but I could see the Jaguars winning it. Yeah. It's not even really. I wouldn't call that an upset because it's like they're pretty close. I'm gonna go Jaguars with you though.
This is where the games get good.
Decent. We'll say decent. Oh, okay, no, they do get good. They get good. Yeah. They get good. Right? There's one that's like but like the rest.
Yeah, the one with your team in it. Right?
Yeah, that's the ant one. Packers, Vikings. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
I'm gonna go.
I'll go Packers.
I'm gonna just go Minnesota to be different.
Jair is back, but I'm going Minnesota.
Justin Jefferson's gonna have a really great season this year.
Thielen, Dalvin Cook, they're all gonna go insane.
And then they have Kirk Cousins, who's like, he's an alright quarterback, but like, good enough to win you hopefully some games. Packers, Vikings, we already went over that. Giants, Titans. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna talk about Raiders, Chargers.
All right, Raiders.
I have to. It's not
this is like tough.
It's not even a home game for the Chargers though, bro. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, the Raiders are gonna fill up that stadium.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is everyone healthy for the Raiders?
Everyone should be.
No, is Darren Waller?
Waller should be straight, bro.
I don't think Waller has an injury. I thought Waller had something to do with his contract. I don't think it was his injury.
What? I thought.
Oh no, he returned. Yeah, no. Frank is right. Frank is right. Something was up with him. He returned to practice yesterday, though.
Okay, he's good. Yeah.
So that means he's good. You sure?
Yeah, he returned to practice already. He'll be good.
Okay. He missed 6 practices because of his hamstring, but he's boo.
Okay.
I don't like you guys' O-line. I'm going Chargers. You guys' O-line is really bad. I don't know who's blocking Khalil Mack
and Joey Bosa.
Yeah, don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah,
you guys' receiving core amazing. Quarterback pretty good. Running back pretty good. Defense is also a little questionable. Not amazing. Not all.
Good
front
rush.
Front
terrible
7.
Defense.
Right. Honestly, not even front 7. I'd say front 4. Front 4 or 3 is really good. Then after that,
2.
Yeah, like 2 of them, and then the other 2 are like, all right, but like
front 2 and then a good middle linebacker. And everyone else falls off. I mean, you can say Nate Hobbs, but he's not anything amazing.
He's like, okay, like he's worked out more.
The
than
best
most
that we have. Yeah.
Okay. Chiefs, Cardinals. Chiefs. This is actually, let's talk about this one because both of these teams are like without their number one receiver that they had last year.
Is Marquise there?
Brown?
What's up? Yeah, what's up with Marquise?
Is he hurt as well?
No, he was something with speeding, remember?
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Wait.
Marquise Brown?
Yeah. He was like speeding like 85 in a 40.
Oh, what are you doing? 85 and a 40? Do that on the field.
That's tough.
126 and a 65?
Yeah, it was that.
That's funny.
Bro, why are they all different? Sports Illustrated says 126 and a 65. Bleacher Report has 71 and a 50.
No, because it happened multiple times. That's why.
What are you doing?
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna just guess that he's not playing.
I'm going for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean Kelsey. Honestly, when I started thinking about it, Kelsey on his own probably.
Yeah.
He still has the chemistry with what's it called?
Mahomes.
Yeah, so that changes that. That doesn't change that. And then the bottom Bucks, 2 games of the day are. That's a Monday game. I thought they were both Sunday night, and I was like, how am I gonna watch both of these?
Yeah.
Buccaneers, Cowboys, Bucks. I think like
Bucks.
It's just like their whole roster is so good. They don't have a hole. Whereas the Cowboys,
I don't know, man. Tom Brady missed 14 days of practice.
I don't know. It's not like he's been practicing his whole life. Like,
AB is quite disappointed in that.
Right. Cowboys, they're missing Tyron Smith, and they signed Jason Peters, who's 40 years old, to play the left tackle position.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't know how he's going to guard or block anybody who's young and can still bend over to grab something. So I'm going to go Buccaneers. But I think it will be a good game. Yeah. Broncos, Seahawks.
Broncos torching them by 30.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I stopped and acted like it was a dramatic game. This is the Broncos.
No, I thought of it like, wait, that might be a good game. But I didn't realize Russ went to the Broncos.
Yeah. Seahawks are terrible. So, yeah. So those are many predictions.
Overthrows do you think Drew Lock is throwing?
He's not even starting. He's not the starting quarterback.
Never mind.
Maybe on the sidelines.
How many times do you think DK is going to get overthrown?
2.
2? Frank?
Oh.
How many times do you think DK Metcalf is going to get overthrown for the Broncos Seahawks game?
I don't know, man. I'll just go with 2, man.
I'm going 1 because Pat Surtain locking him up. Lock it in.
Okay. Well, that's that. Those are our predictions. Let's talk about some podcast things that just relate to the actual podcast that you guys should know. Hopefully we don't take a break as long as we did last time. Before the podcast started, we were discussing how we were going to schedule it. We're thinking about doing 1 episode a week, not on a specific day, just 1 day a week. And then early Sunday mornings, we're going to try and eventually do it to where we can go live while we do it. That's another thing that could possibly happen. But yeah, we're trying to strive for 1 episode a week. That's the goal.
I think
this day is going to be more toward the later end of the week, right? Because our schedules just don't work out for the beginning.
And
yeah, I think having 1 episode on the weekend shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
So 1 episode a week should be pretty standard.
Doable as long as we're just on it, And then some other things podcast related, football's obviously starting, so football I know for a lot of the off season, our podcast has been mostly basketball oriented. Related. And it's still going to be a lot of basketball because basketball is not that far out. I think basketball usually starts in October, right?
It should be kicking up soon.
Yeah. So basketball is about to start in a couple months, and we know how fast the months go. But it's going to be a little more football oriented. And there's, I do want to add a little segment to the podcast that we talked about last year, but we couldn't do it because there just wasn't enough games on. But we do want to add the Poverty Franchise Player of the Week, which is literally just going to be a player who's on a bad team who did something notable, whether that's good or bad, and they'll get a little shout out for a segment. We'll all bring our own Poverty Franchise Player of the Weeks and, talk about them just as a little joke. Could be a player, coach, team. Yeah, they don't have to have done something good. If a player on like the Kings, accidentally, I don't know, did what Marquise Brown did and went 700 and a 22, and like they got arrested, then that could
Are we
be
talking about this for football too?
Yeah, it could be for football.
Okay.
When football and basketball happen at the same time, you can
only
have.
if AB was still in the league.
Oh my god, he might still be the Poverty Franchise Player of the Week. What's it called though? For when football and basketball happen at the same time, you can bring someone for football and basketball, or you can have one that's just for that week. This is the guy for both sports.
All right.
But yeah, episode 18 of the podcast is now over. We just hit 3,000 3 hours of Zoom time, so we've been on Zoom for a bit.
Yeah, probably 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Right.
Something like that.
This is a good return episode. So we'll try and be back Saturday morning this week. I know how we said, episode a week, but today's Labor Day, obviously, so we're all off from school, so that added a whole other aspect. So luckily, we're able to do an episode today. But we're gonna try to still do the Saturday morning thing. We'll make it work though.
Wait, you said Sunday morning.
Sunday morning,
Sunday
mornings. Yes. But yeah, that concludes episode 18 of the Poverty Franchise Podcast. We'll be back on Sunday morning with our pregame reviews for, the games that'll be coming up that day. Peace.